Hi guys, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to do a pick a card, and this is going to be how your ancestral karma is affecting you right now. Okay, so what happened in past lives with your ancestors, your family lineage, your heritage, what happened and how is that affecting you today? We're going to take a look into your ancestral karma, things that need to be cleared out, or things that you should be aware of in regards to how things are affecting you in this lifetime. Okay, guys? So this is something that I'm really excited to do. I love this topic, and let's just dive in. So we have pile number 1. All of the cards will be the 6 of Cups. So this is the option for pile 1, the 6 of Cups. Alrighty, for pile number 2, this is the 6 of Cups. I will pin the decks that I'm using below in the description box, guys, okay? Because I'm terrible with the deck names. I have so many. And then this will be pile number 3, 6 of Cups. These decks are very special to me. They're my ancestor decks. I have decks set aside for only ancestral readings, and these have become those decks for me. What I am going to do is give you just a moment to kind of review the cards. I'll zoom in and allow you time to be able to sit with the energy and select your pile. And from there, we will shuffle the cards. We'll pull all the oracle cards, and then we'll do tarot once we get into the actual reading, okay, guys? So take a moment to just hone in on the energy. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. And just allow Spirit and your ancestors to guide you to the pile that's most appropriate for you. Alrighty, so everyone should have picked their piles. Now we are going to shuffle the cards for pile number 1. Let's get your oracle cards. Pile number 1. Pile number 1. What ancestral karma is affecting them right now? All right, here goes your cards. I heard 3. Alrighty, let's do pile number 2 with this deck. Alrighty. Let's do pile number 3. Alrighty. Let me put pile number 3 here. I'm going to put pile 2's cards there and pile 1's there. Hopefully you guys are able to see. Oh, you can see if I put them there as well. Alrighty. Let's keep going. Alrighty, so for pile number 1, let's get this over. Guys, I'm picking up so much energy from these piles. This is like very intense. Pile number 2, thank you. Pile number 3. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This background noise. Pile 3. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to take all of those because they flew out. Okay. Let's do pile 1. Pile 2. Whoa. Pile 3. You guys see the energy, how like potent it is? It's crazy intense. I love it. As a reader, if you ask me, this is why I was put here, is to help heal these karmic debts, these wounds. I've done so much of this healing for myself, so it's important to me that I assist and support others in healing these things as well. Okay, a couple more. We're almost done. This deck is huge, so. Okay, 3. Alrighty, one more deck. This deck here is going to be like our final card for each pile. Okay, pile 2. I'm only going to take one because these messages can get really deep. Okay, 3. Alrighty. All right, so we have all of the cards that we need. Let me just put these in some type of order. This is pile 1. And these, I don't like to look at the cards. I like to wait until we do the reading. So pile 2. And pile 3. All right, there we have it. Meet me at your pile. See you on the other side. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the Dark Mansion Tarot with the 6 of Cups shown here, this is your reading, okay? What a powerful, powerful lineage you've come from. I was picking up a ton of channeled messages. Actually, I started this reading yesterday and was told to allow the energy to sit and bring resonance. There's something specifically about a remembering here. Okay, for a lot of you, your ancestral karma is about your memory. So this can come up in many aspects of your life. I'm seeing memories of some of you feeling like you've been abandoned, okay? I'm seeing the memory of loss. I'm seeing the memory of like stolen childhoods. For some of you, you may feel like there's a shadow, like a dark cloud or something that hovers over you. You may have felt this way since you were a child. And it's almost like an energy of feeling like the world is against you often. It feels like an energy that has affected you negatively, and it more than likely has still been affecting you. I'm hearing, or as of late, you've been feeling it more intensely. If you've been feeling this energy more intensely as of late, it's because Spirit is bringing this to a resolution. Resolve is what's upon you, okay? Group number 1, pile 1. Your ancestors have been reaching out, trying to connect with you in an attempt to resolve this. It's almost like they're showing an earthquake occurring, and the all of the soil from the ground. Imagine the ground just cracking, and it's almost like someone trying to like pop out of a grave or something that's been buried, right? This energy has been buried deep within you. It is, again, ancestral karma. So today we're looking at how your ancestral karma is affecting you right now. So this karma is coming to the surface. It's I'm seeing like souls screaming from the ground in order to release and free your ancestors. So this is a call for you to allow yourself to finally step into the freedom. This is not only about you, this is about your lineage. And you are the soul that was chosen. Some individuals like to believe that we choose the paths that we step into, like we chose this life. However you want to view it, you are the soul that has been chosen to take up this task. Now, this task may feel heavy, okay? I'm seeing someone wear a cross. So for a lot of you, you could feel like this is a burden, a heavy burden that you've been carrying. You may wonder why you. What makes you so significant? But Spirit is saying that you've been chosen because you're the right one. Your ancestors, I'm seeing a grandmother figure here. She specifically chose you. She chose you because she admires you. There's a deep admiration for you, okay? So this could be a grandmother or a great-grandmother of yours, or a great-great-grandmother. Someone may be born in like the 18th century is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like old fashioned like attire, like a lot of lace, white lace, hair kind of tied like in a bun type style is what it looks like. Black and white photos. Okay, so whatever century that is, that's the time frame of these images or that are being shown to me. That's the ancestor that is coming through to introduce you to your freedom, is what she's saying. Wow, that's powerful. That's very, very, very powerful. There's an admiration for you because there's something about you that... Something about you reminds her of herself. There's something about your strength, your tenacity, your ability to rise to any occasion. Something like she's like basically like you're a boss is what's being said, okay? And they're talking about commemorating. Like there's something within you that they want to commemorate. Let me look this word up and see, because the way that they're explaining it to me doesn't fit what I think the definition is. So give me just a second. Okay, commemorate is to serve as a memorial or a reminder of. Wow, to honor the memory of by some observance. And to make honorable mention of. Guys, memorialize, celebrate, remember. See that it's admiration. You are admired by your ancestors, pile number one. Wow, that's so powerful. I love how our guides will show up to present us with these gifts. So guys, forgive me, I'm getting a little emotional. Ancestral karma is one of what I believe the reasons that I'm here on earth, okay? I have done a lot of ancestral karmic healing, and I just think this is profound to just be able to share this moment, and for, your guides to show up in this way to support not only you, but they're also supporting me in this moment, and encouraging and motivating me to push through the reading, to trust and believe that my gifts are valid. And this is the same admiration that your ancestor was giving to you. I was just seeing like her just kind of gaze at your photo and just watch you, like just watching you through life and watching how you've been able to rise and just effectively conquer everything that's come your way. And I feel like you've carried a lot of weight just as an individual throughout your life. It feels very heavy, the energy that you've carried. And I'm hearing heavy is the head that wears the crown. So it's unknown to you. Maybe it has been maybe unknown to you, but you may be coming back into a remembrance of who you are, pile number one. And so your ancestral karma, absolutely right out the gate, is affecting you right now by maybe you haven't been. I'm feeling like you're kind of easing into this energy. It doesn't feel like you haven't touched a little bit on this. I think you're coming into your power in this moment, and I think your ancestral karma that's affecting you right now it's affecting you in a sense that you're not fully aware of where you came from. So I want to just share with you something that I'm being led to share. When I first started reading or studying, and even the first time I heard about an ancestor, I was in the shower and I heard someone say something and I'm like, huh? And they rhymed and I was like, who are you? And they told me who they were. They were an ancestor, and it was a grandmother figure for me who showed up to me first as well. And I was like, what the heck? And she told me that I had a soul contract with somebody and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, so I'm not crazy, right? And before that, I remember feeling like Spirit told me to go and read the Bible, and they had me reading Matthew chapter 1. Well, I don't know if you know that book in the Bible, but Matthew chapter 1 is probably one of the most boring chapters that you could possibly read. It's the ancestors of Jesus Christ. So it's the lineage of Jesus Christ. And if you look in the Bible, it'll actually say like the ancestors of Jesus of Nazareth, or Christ Jesus, something like that it says. And I remember thinking, what the heck? Like, why do I need to be reading this? This is so boring. And I would have to not have to, but I felt nudges to go in and read all this ancestral documentation, and God was showing me to map out my my timeline, map out make a family tree for myself, and I was just like, this is crazy. I'm not doing this. This doesn't make any sense. Well, I later on realized that made perfect sense because he was connecting me to my ancestors. See, where you came from is just as significant as where you're going. Because in order for you to be able to go to where you're going, you need to know where you came from. And for a lot of individuals, especially a lot of Americans, we've lost our culture, our heritage, our lineage. And so it was important to me to know where I came from after God revealed these things to me so that I would know where I'm going. So this is honestly, this is probably one of the keys to my heart. So I'm excited to just share in this moment with you guys. But your ancestors are showing up, and I'm not trying to make this about me. I want to just share information when Spirit asks me to. But your ancestors are awakening you to who you are, and that starts, and the initiation of that is where you're at right now, is how it feels to me. And it feels like it's affecting you in a sense that you're coming to learn who you are, and in that you're going to clear your ancestral karma. Okay, pile number one, this is powerful as heck. Let me just tell you, thank you for being present and for allowing me this beautiful opportunity. I'll try not to cry. So the first thing out is confidence, okay? Guys, this is absolutely what we were just discussing, is as you step into your power, you recognize where you came from. That's going to give you all the clues and allude you to where you're going. So something in your ancestral karma has affected the way that you see yourself, okay? I believe I was picking up in this Six of Cups energy here of someone feeling abandoned. So if you have any wounds around abandonment in your ancestral history, your database, I'm going to call it the database, okay? So as a lineage, as a family, a collective family, you have a database, and we're just going to call it that for the purpose of what we're doing here, okay? In that database, so imagine all of your family history being stored in here. This is the database. It's the collector of all of the things that have taken place throughout all of your history, your ancestors, you, siblings, parents, etc., right? So imagine all of this history just being stored up in this database. So in that database, something happened to someone within this collective group of your family lineage or ancestors that stole their ability to feel confident. Okay. It's almost like, oh, I'm hearing rituals, spells, cults. Okay, so someone in your family lineage could have tapped into some dark energy. There's also wounds of abandonment, being cast away. Someone could have been ostracized, removed from the family based on some decisions, maybe even religious factors, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be cults. It could be any religious factors that could have possibly played a role in this. But they're showing someone running away from what looks like a church building. So Spirit is just saying that religious factors could have played a major role in this for you and your ancestors. Some of that karma clearing could have to do with being confident in what you believe in, even if it differs from what everybody else in your family believes in. There's a confidence that is affecting you today in regards to your beliefs, your spiritual beliefs and practices. That message is coming through very clearly. There's a confidence in knowing that, like, you're not going to be condemned or damned or ostracized if you make these decisions. Like, there's a confidence that this is all obviously connected to ancestral karma, but there's something attached to your ancestral karma that has to do with being able to stand in your beliefs without wavering, okay? Without the opinions of others, because I'm hearing other people chattering in the background while someone is in a mosque trying to pray. And so it's almost like in the moments where you need to, find yourself, you're going to have to learn how to block out the chatter. There's also something coming through about you being meant to stand out. There's some type of fears around being seen, being visible. Body shaming is coming through as well. Someone may have had some challenges with confidence due to body shaming. It's almost like covering up in an attempt to not show your true self. Okay, so Spirit is saying that for someone here, you may be using other things to cover yourself up in an attempt to not show who you really are. And that's because you lack confidence. And your confidence, you probably wondered why you could never capture confidence. How come I can't be confident, right? You're probably not unattractive. There's probably nothing wrong with you physically that would make other people think, oh, they're not confident. But for you, you lack confidence. You lack confidence because this is connected to your ancestors. In your lineage, in your database, there are insecurities. There are challenges in regards to being confident. I'm hearing this could stem from your dad's family, like your dad's parent, your dad's mom specifically is what I'm hearing. Your dad's mom could have had confidence issues that could have trickled down to your father, and that could have progressed into you. And maybe if you have children, your children is what I'm hearing. Even if you don't have children, it's just, this is you. So your lack of confidence has trickled down from your father's mother is what it sounds like, and her lineage. So something could have happened to her to affect her ability to feel comfortable with being seen. Also, I keep seeing this in this card. There's something different and unique about the way that you see spirituality. your religious beliefs are not, it's almost like I'm picking up on someone, like I'm not even supposed to be watching this tarot reading right now. Like if my family knew I was watching this, they would like do something to me. Let's read the confidence card. By earth and air, water and fire, let my confidence take light, burn higher. Wow. And I keep seeing fidence. There's something about you being able to confide within someone. Oh, for someone, you could have, someone in your family could have confided in the wrong person. Because Spirit keeps saying to confide in yourself. I keep hearing them say, confide in yourself. There's something about being completely whole, independently, apart from your family, apart from anyone else. That's what it's going to take to get you to pop out of this ancestral karma. Okay, it's going to take you being confident and standing as an independent, not caring about what other people think, not alarming yourself when others are challenged by your beliefs. It's not like you're hiding, but it's also like you don't have to tell everyone your business. This is about keeping some things to yourself. Again, they're going back to showing me someone like talking in the background while someone's praying. It's almost like you may feel like you can't find peace and space away from your family. You could have a very controlling, kind of domineering, authoritative family that may feel often at times like you can't escape, like you may feel like you can't escape them. There's something about you being a water bearer, though. You may have Aquarius in your chart, or you may be an Aquarius, but I'm picking up on the eccentric nature of you that is very unique and set apart. You may look a lot different from your family. Like maybe you have tattoos, maybe you have colored hair, maybe you paint your nails, like a different color or whatever. Maybe you do all kinds of like eccentric things to yourself, and that may be uncomfortable for your family. It may not be acceptable within the traditions and customs of your family. But Spirit is saying that you are that way for a reason. You are meant to stand out, pile number one. I can't get away from this. You have some type of artistic something about you. It's like you're a creative. You're naturally a creative. You probably create and make magic everywhere you go. And this may be very bothersome to other people. I think that you haven't been able to stand in the true authenticity of your abilities, meaning you haven't been able to shine and stand out in the way that Spirit and your ancestors desire that you do. And it's because you're hiding behind something, and you're hiding behind this lack of confidence. But this lack of confidence comes from your ancestors, this ancestral karma that you, my friend, are meant to clear out. And you're meant to clear it out because Spirit has given you the beautiful opportunity to stand out in the world. There's something very unique about you. There's something unique about your energy. There's something different. It's beautiful. It feels very peacockish. Like, you see a peacock and you notice them and you're like, wow, they're just stunning without even doing anything. That's your energy. And if you feel like you don't physically look like that, your energy reads that way. So that means that you are that. Because energy is louder than anything else, pile number one. For some of you, you could have spiritual gifts that maybe you're afraid to operate in. I'm seeing someone like do Reiki healing. I'm seeing like energy healing, maybe sound bowls, sound baths, things like that. There's something that you're gifted in spiritually that you have been suppressing because of fear of rejection and being abandoned, ostracized, that energy. There's a glow. This is all about you taking back your personal power. This is the solar plexus energy. I'll get to that card next, guys, but they want me to stay stuck here. You feel stuck here is what they're saying. The ancestral karma is making you feel stuck. It's making you feel incapacitated, like you're not able to actually move forward with what it is that you really want to do in your life and in the world because of this karma. But I'm telling you guys, this is about to get cleared. You're about to clear this karma. Okay? This karma is going to be cleared. I'm going to burn some sage shortly, and we're going to just believe the intention of the reading is that at the end of this reading, this ancestral karma and how it's affecting you will bring you to the light of how you need to operate moving forward, or not need to, guys, you don't have to do anything, but how you should operate or have the opportunity to operate moving forward in order to clear this off of your path. Okay, you have like Leo Aquarius energy, guys. Leos cannot be hidden. I don't know if you know any Leos, but you can't not see a Leo. Glamour. Oh my gosh. Into this mirror, I now see the realms of possibilities. Ah, I love this. I love this. Yeah, something to do with the way that you look. When this ancestral karma, it's really interesting. It affects the way that you see yourself. That's why Spirit said that. Okay, you know how they said a moment ago that like even if you don't feel like it physically, your energy speaks peacock. That's the same thing that's showing up here in this glamour card, guys, is that when you look in the mirror, you're not seeing yourself through the right lens. And what I mean by that is that your confidence has been so depleted or diminished. It's been shrunken or kind of pushed down by events. Life events is what I'm hearing. Life events have suppressed your confidence, and it was very much intentional. Okay? Because when someone has the energy like you, someone has the ability to be seen even when they don't want to. When someone has the ability to stand out with their energy, let me tell you, sister, brother, you are somebody, okay? Not to diminish or negate the fact that other people have, gifts and are powerful and beautiful too. No, you are set apart. This is not normal energy. You have an energy of royalty attached to you. This is an energy of someone who is intentionally placed here and intended to do something spectacular, to make a difference. I don't care if that's just making a difference in your local community. That's making a difference, guys. You don't have to be Instagram famous, TikTok famous, none of that to actually make a difference. No, it's the people in the communities that are doing the day-to-day mundane tasks that nobody else wants to do. Those are the people that are making a difference. So anyways, off on my tangent, but you all, when you see yourselves in the mirrors, you're not seeing yourselves as the vibrant individuals you are. It's almost like you're looking at yourselves through the dark rather than seeing yourselves with this light. It's almost like this light here, this candle, is the energy of spirit, right? Where you're able to actually look through the mirror and see like, wow, I actually was made in the image of God. Wow, I actually do have something to offer the world. Wow, my possibilities are limitless. The only thing holding you back is you, pile number one. Your ancestral karma has attacked your confidence in an attempt to affect you in every other way. Okay, it just heads up, guys, if I start like talking weird like this, my nose itches really bad when I'm tapped in. So just know that when I'm connected, that's what happens. So if you hear that, I know you keep hearing it, you're like, what the heck is wrong with her? That's the reason why. So I apologize for that. But let me tell you guys what they just said. Okay. There's back in the days, I remember this sermon that they just brought back to my memory. I probably heard this sermon maybe 15, 20 years ago. The pastor was preaching. The pastor said, the first thing that the enemy wants to steal is your confidence. And the enemy wants to steal your confidence because if he can get your confidence, then everything else is gone. That's your ancestral karma, is that the confidence of you and your ancestors have been diminished, again, afflicted by life circumstances, life events, in an attempt to keep you guys small. No more, pile number one. Heck no. You're the water bearer. That's the shifter. Okay? Aquarian energy is about standing out. It's the energy of Uranus. It can either be extremely destructive in its shadow self, which is what I feel you had been operating in previously. I feel like you could have had times in your life where you were very self-destructive. I mean, in stages of anxiety, depression, sitting in self-pity, wallowing in, sitting in that hangman energy of feeling like the world is against you. Seven of Swords energy where you're self-sabotaging, energies of staying in relationship situations and around people that are uncomfortable for you, but you become so comfortable with the uncomfortable, you're so attached to the trauma that you sit and you sulk in it. I think that that's who you were. I think that's where you're coming from. I think you're coming into the initiation period of recognizing that no, there has to be something more. There has to be something more. And this glamour energy is giving you that. It's spirit and your ancestors saying, look in the mirror and see the possibilities. But I don't want you to look outside of you, because I think you have probably looked outside of yourself, seeking validation, approval, seeking other people's opinions to tell you, you know what, you actually are good at that. That's shifting right now, right here, pile number one. Listen, I am telling you guys, okay? Spirit and your ancestors are shifting this in you. The possibilities are not outside of you, pile number one, but your ancestral karma was connected to that debt. It was almost like a debt, but it's a debt that you weren't even supposed to be paying. It's a debt that was like stolen, something that was kind of like not stolen, but like thrown at you. Okay, here's how they're showing it to me. So there's two people standing out in this like basically like desert area, okay? And this one guy, he's like walking in this direction. The other guy is walking over here, and this guy says, "Hey, catch." And he like throws him this bag. And you're this guy. You don't even know what's going on because you're not even thinking, you don't even know who this other guy is. This is what happened. This got thrown on you. It's not a debt though. You don't owe anything for it, but you're here to shift it. The Uranus energy, when it's in its light aspects, it shifts powerfully, quickly, and transformatively. That's what you're here to do, my friend. You are here to shift the crap out of this energy and to get it out of the way so that you can move forward with being seen, being confident, being whole, and stepping and tapping into the limitless possibilities that have been afforded to you. Wow, service. Oh my gosh. Guys, I feel good when I can help others. This is why this is happening. Okay, again, I mentioned a second ago, I can't make this up. Anytime you have this dynamic energy, you are here to do something major. Your service to the world, the community, people around you is why you've been trapped in this lack of confidence. It's because, again, back to that sermon, if the enemy knows that he can steal your confidence, you don't have anything else. If you think that life is against you, if you feel like nothing has worked out in your favor, if you feel like everything is always going to go south, what good are you? I've had to assess this within myself. Like, dang, if I don't have any confidence, I really don't have anything else. Because if I don't have confidence, then I don't want to even get out the bed, right? Like when you don't feel good about yourself, when you don't believe in yourself, what can you do? Not much. You know, it's the people who are like the most shady people in the world who have a ton of confidence. But that's how they can be the most shadiest. Because guess what? They're confident that they can get whatever they want. So why not you? Why not you? Let me share something with you quickly. Okay. One time I was in counseling years ago, and this counselor, he said, you know, Tori, the thing about you that is very interesting, he said, is if you were in a line waiting to get into heaven, you would let everybody else go in front of you. He's like, and the interesting thing is, why do you think that they're more important than you? And I said, ooh, wow. You know, even now that's like gut wrenching to think that, you know, that you could think so low about yourself. Especially when you're like a good person. You have a heart of service in order for God to give you this gift. Whatever your gifts are, or whatever your gift is, your gift requires that you be confident. And that confidence is because the gifts are to serve the others, the collective, the world, your community. And in order for you to be able to serve them, you must have confidence, right? If you, for example, make clay pots, okay, and you're supposed to be taking these pots and giving them, serving the communities with them, right? Like maybe you're going to make pozole. I don't know. I'm just making this up. Maybe you're going to make pozole in your clay pots and you're going to take it and you're going to go feed the community. Or maybe there's a local restaurant that's like, hey, I make pozole and I need clay pots. If you're not confident that you can make these pots that would hold the pozole, contain the pozole, be able to warm and keep the pozole warm, then how are you going to do it? So whatever it is that you're meant to do, it requires that you have confidence. And in order to be of service to others, you must first believe in yourself. There's no way that you can get out and tell everybody else to believe in themselves if you don't believe in yourself. That's blasphemy, right? You wouldn't even have the tools to be able to share with them how to gain confidence if you don't believe in yourself. And so for you, pile number one, your ancestral karma is tying you up and been trying to keep you tied up through lack of confidence because you have a mission to serve others. And in that, confidence is required. You have a heart to serve others. You have a desire. It's like you have a heart of wanting to offer something. And I think you are very unique. Just in general, I think your energy, your aura is beautiful. It's powerful. However, if you're not confident in your abilities, there's no way you're going to get there. If you don't see yourself through the lens of spirit, which is pure, holy, loving, kind, if you don't tap into that inner child, because that's another thing coming through here, is that there may be some inner child wounds connected to your ancestral karma. I think this is energy that started as a child and it's just worked its way into adulthood and just progressively gotten worse in the way that it's attacked you. Almost like growing in size. Like, okay, they're showing me like a person who has like succulent cactus plants growing out of them. And those cactus have thorns on them or little pokey needles on them. I guess they're called cactus needles, right? And as you have gotten older, people have made you feel defeated and they've robbed your confidence. More and more you end up with more and more of these cacti on your body and they have those little prickly needles sticking out of them, and this has just attacked you more and more and more. So although this was like that bag of potatoes or whatever that got thrown at you, this is something that you are powerful enough to clear. Now, your ancestors want me to just give you a heads up about this. They're here to support you. You're never doing any of this on your own. Your ancestors, guides, angels, Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, God, Spirit, whatever you want to call him, they're here, or them, they're here to support you. So you're never going at this alone. Never going at this alone. I think a lot of your ancestors have been terrified to actually look at themselves in the mirror and see themselves truly and wholeheartedly as who they are. And I think that that's also something that has impacted you. I think you may have had a hard time previously looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what? I probably do need to work on that. It feels like there's a challenge with accountability here, but the accountability has been challenged due to the fact that there's very low self-esteem, low confidence. And what that low confidence does is keeps you low and keeps you defeated. So if you look at any part of yourself, you automatically feel like you have no existence. Like, why am I even here, right? Because it's like, if all this stuff is wrong with me, why would I want to see it? That requires confidence. That requires courage. That also is why your grandmother figure ancestor was admiring you so much earlier, telling you how strong you are, how courageous, how brave you are, talking about your tenacity. She was just really, really admiring you, commemorating you. You remember that word? Powerful, guys. You are so loved. I'm about ready to cry again. Pile 1, you are so loved. The energy here is nothing but love and light. It is love. I mean, like, literally, like, they're pouring out love upon you to say, you got this, you got this. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear from them pretty frequently, but maybe just are unaware of who it is or what they're saying or what the purpose is, or maybe it's scary to you because it's different from your previous religious beliefs or upbringing. But they are so present and so with you, and you are so loved, pile number 1. All right, look at this energy. Queen Ya Asantewa. Wow, level up. Oh my gosh, how powerful. You see this throne? This is what I was saying earlier about you being royalty. There's something about you being seated and not knowing the position of authority that you naturally possess. For some of you, you may have felt like you were unique, like maybe even growing up as a child thinking like there has to be something different. There's something about me that's not like everybody else. But that could have turned into a negative thing rather than what it is, which is positive. This level up energy here is screaming at the fact that you are supposed to be sitting on the throne. You deserve a place. You deserve a seat at the table is what I'm hearing. You deserve a seat at the table, pile number 1. There's nothing or no one that's more significant or more important than you. And this is a number 3. When you break 39, 9 plus 3 is 12. That breaks down to the 3. This is a 6 and a 5. There's a transition. As you collaborate with your ancestors, as you collaborate with spirit, your team, your angels, you're going to notice that you're going to shift from the lack of confidence into a more confident attitude of infinite possibilities. And from there, you'll shift into this level up. This is to promote you into your rightful position, pile number 1. Wow. Ocean of correspondence, communication, listening, and conflict resolution. Okay, this goes back to what I was picking up on earlier, guys, where some of your ancestral karma is connected to your and your ancestors' ability to be able to receive information and hold yourselves accountable. See, I'm seeing this as spirit and your ancestors speaking to you, like saying, hey, you know, this is what you may need to look at. And again, the confidence affects all of this. So if you don't have confidence, because there goes a mirror again, you're going to have a hard time looking in the mirror. You're going to have a hard time receiving information. You're also going to have a hard time with seeing it as positive, because they're showing this card too with the honeybee energy here as this is sweet information. But because of the lack of confidence, because of the self-doubt, because of the feelings of inadequacy, it's perceived often by you and your ancestors as if it's negativity, when this is actually a benefit to you. This is a benefit to you because they're showing it as like this is a step up. This is the stairs to get you to the next level. That's also a 3. That's about, you know, being able to communicate and connect with your guides, your ancestors, to collaborate in order to get you to victory. And then you have the ocean of self-destruction. Yeah, this is the energy we were picking up on too. Self-sabotage, destructive patterns, and cautioning. So this is a part of the ancestral karma to be cleared out too, is seeing things clearly without self-destructing, okay? Without self-sabotaging, without feeling like there's no way out. Spirit and your ancestors are urging you to see the possibilities. Okay, remember, we're going to go back to this, the realm of possibilities. So in the mirror, when you look, don't see fragmented pieces as this mirror shows here. See the whole. See the fragments as being things that are brought back together. There's a Japanese word. Let me see if I can look it up. There's a Japanese word, and I want you to go and look this up and see how this relates to you. Let me see if I can just figure out what it is. Japanese. Fragmented art. I'm going to put that in. Yeah. Kintsugi. Okay. Kintsugi. Kintsugi. I want you to look that up and I want you to read the definition of it, because that's essentially what Spirit is saying your reading is about. And I'm just going to sum it up briefly for you, but I'd like if you would go and read it so that you can tune into the energy and really feel it for yourself without it just coming from me. But the Kintsugi energy is about pottery that has been fragmented but put back together, and when it's put back together, it's actually stronger than its original state. And so that's the same thing that Spirit is kind of screaming in your reading, is that the lack of confidence, the fragmented pieces of you, are actually the beautiful things about you. That's actually where you find the realms of possibilities, is in those fragmented pieces, because that's what makes art. Maybe that's why they were speaking so much about art early on in your reading. That's what makes the art beautiful, is the fact that it was pieced together, that it was disconnected initially. When you start with a canvas and you have, multiple paint colors are all around you, you don't have anything. They're fragmented pieces, right? But when you put it all together, that's how it becomes beautiful. So your story, your life, your lineage, your challenges, your trials, the chaos and conflict that you've endured, the times when you lacked self-esteem, lacked confidence, when you were self-sabotaging, when you were too challenged to listen to Spirit, when you felt inadequate, when you felt like you didn't fit into the world, when you felt like there was no place for you, when you felt like you didn't need to take up space, like there was no space for you to take up. What would you be taking up space for? When you felt like you couldn't use your voice, all of those moments were there to support you in your ability to be able to serve others. And those fragments create the whole, which is now stronger than you were previously. Powerful pile number 1. Look at this. Break free. Spirit, your ancestors are trying to assist you in transforming this energy. I'm not going to read the card here, but I will put this up here if you would like to take a screenshot and read it. But I like to intuitively just pick up the messages here. And Spirit is just saying, your ancestors are saying, this is the time to break out of this energy. This is the opportunity to disconnect from that chrysalis phase. This is what they're showing me. For some of you, your ancestral karma has been affecting you by keeping you stuck. You've been trapped in that chrysalis phase of not being able to break out into the butterfly that you're supposed to be. And it's because that chrysalis phase was really comfortable. A ton of hangman energy here. You could have Pisces in your chart, but that chrysalis phase for you was very comfortable. And for a lot of you, the lack of confidence wants to keep you in the comfortable things, but there's also no risk in the comfortable. There's also no possibilities in the comfortable, because what you see is what you're going to get. So it's like breaking free from limitations, breaking free. That's what the chrysalis phase is too, guys, is limitations. Breaking free from the limitations in order to allow yourselves to now break out into these butterflies that you're supposed to be, so that you can sit in your rightful position. It's almost like Spirit is showing, like you keep standing up waiting for someone else to take this seat when this is yours. This seat is yours. It's yours, and it's being illuminated and lit up by your ancestors because they're ready to put you in it. They're like, come on, get your butt in that seat. You belong there. You belong there, pile number 1. I love this. Honor yourself. Oh my gosh, how powerful. How powerful. This is definitely going back to what was mentioned earlier in regards to maybe seeking validation from others or approval from others. And Spirit is saying, honor yourself, by seeing yourself in the true light of who you are. Okay, there's something in this card that's coming through very strongly about being able to really see the beauty of you with nothing else attached, no one else attached, finding the beauty that you have just by being you. It's almost like a promoting yourself is how you can break that ancestral karma. Yeah, okay. To free yourself from this ancestral karma, your mission task is going to be of service to yourself, pile number 1. That message is so clear. When we get those tarot cards, I would not be surprised if I see the Hangman, if I see the Star energy, and if I see the Empress or the Nine of Pentacles. Spirit wants you, they're urging you, your ancestors, to please pour into yourself. Love on yourself. Find the beauty within you. Honor yourself first and foremost. Put you first, pile number 1. That's how you're going to break this. You're going to destruct this ancestral karma once and for all and release it by putting yourself first, because no one before you has been able to do that. They've put others before themselves. They've invalidated themselves. They've sat in the energy of no confidence, low self-esteem, disbelief in self. You're going to break this cycle by pouring into you, glamorizing yourself. Oh, they just said commemorating yourself, pile number 1. That's the shift. Wow. Oh my gosh, guys. Trust in yourself. Need we say more? I don't even think I need to say anything, guys. That is powerful. Powerful, powerful. Sorry, I need to get a little drink of water. Okay, guys. So, theater. Wow. Okay, this gives me the this takes me back to what we were speaking about earlier in regards to you being someone that needs to be seen. I think that this also is speaking to the fact that maybe a lot of your ancestors, maybe even you, have maybe played a role in life that was different than the role that you actually want it to be. Like maybe you're just playing a part. Maybe you feel like that right now, like you're just playing a part or a role in this life, but it's not actually what you really want or desire. And this is what you're going to break free from, okay? I also think that this has a lot to do with you being one who is supposed to stand out in the crowd, okay? Like you're supposed to be in the spotlight in some capacity. And I don't know exactly what that is. You may or may not, but I'm confident that it's going to be revealed to you when you break free and honor yourself and put yourself in your rightful position. This gives me main character vibes. Look, the camera is here too, guys. You can't make this up, guys. There's something about you that stands out, and the enemy wants to hide you because the enemy knows that you have something powerful to share with the world. I really do believe that your gifts have to do with something very sweet. It's something that's very healing. It's something that's very promising is what I'm hearing, okay? And I think you've been hiding behind this mask of, self-doubt. And again, that's only because your gifts are powerful. You're supposed to sit in a very high position here. Okay, that seat is not a regular seat. That seat is shiny and gold and glimmery and sparkly. You have something to do, pile number 1. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Wow. Okay, so this is the dimensional of shadow, and it's the perfect circle. Now I'm going to read this card at the very end of the reading. These cards can be very deep and they can be challenging to translate or to interpret. They're very deep. But what I'm seeing here is something that has to do with perfectionism. Okay, and I'm going to read the card later, but intuitively I'm picking up on a shadow that's connected to a perfectionism energy. Again, that goes back to confidence, because in order for you to believe that you have to be perfect or to set a standard, someone must have given that to you or made you feel that. Again, that's what that throwing that bag of potatoes, I'm calling it a bag of potatoes because that's how it feels, but that's what that throwing the bag of potatoes on you is about you maybe taking on the energy of your ancestors' imperfections, but they're not yours to carry, nor are they yours to bear. Sorry, you see me trying to figure out where I'm going to put that. They're not yours to bear. No more, pile number one. The shadow has to resolve itself. The door is like you're being given the door, the key to open this door. So you're going to step into a new portal. Spirit is showing me that in that card there. There's a new portal that's been opened for you as of this year. You have access to new arenas. Okay. Wow. Theater there. You have access to new arenas. Spirit is going to open you up to see things through a new lens. And that's why you're coming to this reading too, because it's time for you to break those ancestral patterns and step into your new. You're going to see yourself through the light of spirit and your ancestors, and no longer allowing yourself to be hidden. Wow, the Ace of Cups. Ah! Guys, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be screaming in your ears. That's all about self-love. The Ten of Pentacles. The Chariot. Guys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be yelling. I just get so excited. The Seven of Swords. I'm taking this one more. The Nine of Pentacles. Guys, let me tell you. Okay? Love this. The Two of Swords. So this Two of Swords is screaming right now. I want to talk about this, and then I'm going to jump into these lovely cards. The shift is here for you, pile number one. Let me just put that out there. The shift is here. You're not seeing this. You're not seeing this because you're lacking confidence. Okay? This is showing up to say exactly what we've been talking about. Excuse me, which you're fully aware of this, right? There's no hiding this. You're aware of the fact that before I said anything, you already knew all of this. This is just confirmation. I'm not telling you anything that you didn't know, maybe just bringing it to your awareness. Remember, Spirit started off the reading, your ancestors were showing that this had been buried, but the earthquake shook the ground and now it's coming to the top, right? It's coming to a halt. It's coming to an end is what they're saying. It's time for this to be resolved and dissolved once and for all. No longer will you hide behind your fears, your emotions, your insecurities. You will no longer keep yourself limited or stuck or trapped in this energy. This Two of Swords energy is Aquarian energy, which I was picking up on that earlier as well. This is the energy of staying stuck but wondering why nothing is changing around you. Okay, this is self-sabotaging energy because she just keeps herself here when all she has to do is open her eyes and turn around, right? It's like once I see, I need to be able to do something with it. But she kind of refuses to even see things because of stubbornness. So stubbornness could be affecting your ancestors as well. Your karma could be to remove the stubbornness that prevents you from actually being able to be, freed from this. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. I love this because this begins and ends with you loving yourself. The Ace of Cups for you right now in this reading is representing you pouring into yourself, okay? The ability to be able to pour from a cup that has been filled is significant for you. Okay, so what they're saying is that if you keep trying to pour and your cup is empty, you're just depleting yourself even more. In order for you to rid yourself of those cactus or the cacti that we were referring to earlier that have attached to you throughout your life, through life experiences, people, places, situations, and things, just wronging you, making you feel less confident in yourself, maybe even siphoning your confidence. Spirit is saying pour water, love, light back into yourself in order to re-energize you And from there, you're going to notice everything else begins to fall into place. What's coming your way with this clearing of this ancestral karma is you rebuilding your family lineage and creating this legacy. This 10 of Pentacles is not only an energy of legacy, it's an energy of stability, it's an energy of permanency, and also it's an energy of a transition in your legacy. Meaning you will no longer go back to where you came from. You're changing the trajectory of your family lineage from you forward, from this day forward. Your family lineage and the trajectory of it is completely shifting. The Chariot too is about determination, it's about momentum, and it's about forward movement, progress. There's no stagnant energy in this Chariot card. And I'm also seeing this black cat representing good luck coming to you. So you are going to move your family into stability. I'm also seeing in this 10 of Pentacles, they're showing me something about clarity, truth, and honesty moving forward. Like you're pulling up the lies from underneath the rug, pulling the skeletons out of the closet by revealing them into the light and pouring love into them. Okay, so all of the things that we discussed already, the ancestral karmas, you're clearing those energies by pulling them up, pouring love and light into them. And this is starting with you just pouring that into yourself. The 7 of Swords energy is showing up as an energy of what you will no longer allow to take place. You see the 2 of Swords here is the same 2 of Swords in that card. You're not self-sabotaging. You're not going to allow the deceptions and the lies of the things of the past to pull you in the direction of feeling like you are bound and held hostage to these lies. These lies are these 5 of Swords energy. You're not operating in a win or lose energy anymore because you're recognizing that your possibilities are limitless, that there's nothing that you cannot accomplish or attain. There's also nothing that you are supposed to be stuck and hidden from the world from, right? Meaning you're supposed to be seen, and that's coming out in this 9 of Pentacles energy. You're falling into your rightful position. You're recognizing that you are the level up. Okay, pile number 1, this is amazing. I love this for you guys. I'm ready to scream again, but I have to hold myself back. You're also taking back everything that was stolen from you is what I'm hearing. You're recognizing that the seeds were already planted by your ancestors and that you're the beneficiary of this, okay? It's literally like you're doing what your ancestors said at the beginning of the reading. You're commemorating yourself. You're recognizing that, hey, I have reason to be honored. I am honorable, and I'm going out and I'm getting everything that belongs to me. Guys, birds could be very significant for you, especially white or gray birds. If you see white or gray birds, pay attention to them. They may be ancestors sending messages. It could just be a message of hope. It could be a message of, hey, I'm here with you. You're not alone. But there's something about gray or white birds that's coming through very, very, very strongly in this reading. This is powerful. This is powerful. You're shifting. This is crazy too, because they're showing me this 9 of Pentacles as an energy that's been a long time coming, but it's the energy of others planting the seeds but never being able to fully accomplish it. So this is how it's being shown to me. It's being shown to me like basically like your family owned a farm. This is the story that they're showing, okay? Your family owned a farm. Your ancestors for years, centuries, decades have been planting seeds on this farm. Nobody could get it to grow. Now, all of a sudden, you're here, you plant the same seeds, and now they're growing. And it's because there's something about you. It's almost like you were, Esther 4:14 is what they're showing. That means perhaps you were made for such a time as this. It's a Bible verse. They're saying that that's you. You were made for this specific time, and it is the divine timing at this moment for this karma to be cleared, the debts to be paid. They have been paid, they said, and it's time to move forward. No more self-sabotaging, pile number 1. This is phenomenal. Guys, I'm going to light the sage to cleanse the energy, set the intentions that this ancestral karma is cleared once and for all, ending with you. And I'm going to read the last cards here. I'm going to read the books, and then we're going to get out of here. This is awesome. 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 Let me clear this sand thing too. I like to do these things just to clear the energy. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Ancestors. This is awesome. Oh my God, I love this. I hope you got clarification. If so, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. I love to hear from you guys. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, that would be fantastic as well. Yeah, so let's read the card here. So this is the Queen Ya Asantewa, okay? Goddess of leveling up. The Ashanti and Ghana, those are the people that they come from. Guys, so interesting. This book here became one of my ancestor decks years ago. And when I was studying my lineage. So when I was studying my lineage, I was going through like ancestry DNA. And I would come and I would read. I would pull a card. I would come read it. And I'm like, oh my God. The Ashanti people, those are my people. So go back and look at your, like, if you have ancestry DNA or whatever, where they can, pull your DNA and test you and see where you came from. If you have that, check and see if you have this Ashanti, Ghana, or the Bush people anywhere in your, your DNA, okay? Because I think it's cool to correlate those things and you see how really connected your ancestors are to you, okay? If not, don't worry about it, but just something to think about. Okay, so Queen Ya Asantewa was a mother farmer. What? A farmer? And the warrior queen who led the War of the Golden Stool. The Golden Stool, throne of the Ashanti Empire, holds the regent's Kra, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is life force energy. Raise your standards. A leap forward for one is a leap forward for the tribe. Your choices can raise the frequency of your community and the planet. Guys, it's 444 right now. Oh my God, I need to calm myself down. I love this. I love this. I love this. When you see how truly connected you are, pile number one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, let me finish. The embodiment is time to level up. This is your season for a quantum leap. You have prepared for this. Life does not have to be linear, and neither does growth. A quantum leap feels drastic and huge, but the secret is that quantum leaps happen little by little. So, what inspired action helps you level up? Connecting to spirit with rituals, movement, meditation, and visualization is a great start. The goddess declaration is divine timing is on my side. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so excited for you guys. I know how this feels, and it's liberating, guys. You are being liberated out of this, and how blessed are we that our ancestors would choose us for such a time as this, guys. I mean, just sit with that for a second. Do you know how many people in this world don't even know how to get connected? They don't even know what connection is. So how blessed are we that we can connect and tap into our ancestors, and that they would allow us to clear out the karma. What a gift. In addition, they're giving you this seat to sit at, guys. This seat again is a throne of royalty, pile number one. What a phenomenon. I'm sorry. This is amazing, guys. This next card we're going to read is the Dimensional of Shadow Perfect Circle, okay? Let me see if I can find this. These cards are hard to find in this deck. If you're interested, this is the Wild Harmonic Oracle. I love this deck. It's one of my faves, but it is deep as heck. So I only pull it out when I'm doing something serious. Okay, let's see. Perfect Circle. 154. Oh, guys, what an amazing reading. I'm full of this. This is phenomenal. Let me see if you can see this, because you may want to screenshot it. Okay. Dimensional of Shadow. As the dimensional expanse falls into denial, the need to defend oneself keeps light out. The power of logic used to deny that which it cannot perceive, and the ability of circular thinking to generate a powerful impulse to believe. This card warns of the mind's ability to generate ideas that prove each other, thereby generating an intense sense of certainty and fooling, even trapping one into their self-reflective misery of justification. Ideas certainly have their way with me, and while I like to think I have a clear mind, it is often apparent that I have decided something is a fact based purely on other ideas that say it is so. When these ideas get together, they have a way of taking me over and compelling me into disintegrating behavior. The inquiry is, how is logic and how things are getting in my way of creation? Wow. If that doesn't tie this all together, guys, wow, what a powerful reading. Let me show you the little, I call this a sand dune, but it's not. I don't know what you would call it. Do you notice how flat this is? It's balanced. This energy is coming into balance for you, pile number one. Forgive me. Hit the mic. Your ancestors are bringing things into balance and into alignment for you. It's divine timing. Go out and be great. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this gave you something. Have the most phenomenal day, week, year, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Six of Cups from the Folklore Tarot, this is your reading, okay, guys? So buckle up, pile number two. I heard when I was meditating and preparing for your reading that we are going deep. I may have to pull some other decks, so I'm prepared for that. Your ancestors are showing up. They have some very strong messages for you, and we're going to dig right in. Initially, what I was picking up on is that your ancestral karma is affecting you right now by leaving it's like pebbles that have been dropped along a pathway, and that pathway led to you. This ancestral karma that you've been carrying is related to guilt, shame, and condemnation. It feels very heavy, like it's been carried for years. For you, this energy has been within you, or I'm hearing it's been gifted to you guys. Just heads up, pile number one was deep as well. Ancestors are showing themselves in order to assist you in releasing these karmic debts, okay? So this is all for your good. If you're afraid of your ancestors, if you're afraid of spirit, if you're afraid of angelic hosts and guides, I would recommend that you maybe skip this reading. I don't know why I'm giving you guys that disclaimer. I didn't do that with pile number one, but the messages are going to come through very specific to you from your ancestors. Guys, everything here is of the light. There's no dark energy here. There's no evil ancestors. If you're concerned or worried that anything like that can come through, just know that that would never happen in this space, as it's not tolerated here. Spirits and energies are fully aware as to where they can and cannot reside, and you are highly protected. I'm highly protected, so you don't have anything to worry about. Interesting thing too is I had this obsidian stone here, and I actually had this on your pile. I think for you, your ancestral karma has to do with some type of like a warding off of these energies that have been depleting you. I'm seeing the devil in my mind's eye, so it's almost as if this energy has been very combative towards you throughout your life, in almost like a resisting energy. So what they're showing me is when I was younger, this may have happened to some of you all too, which is why Spirit may be having me share this story. But when I was younger and even into adulthood, maybe like late 20s, I would have dreams. They were nightmares where I would feel like demons holding me down, oppressing me. Okay, this feels like an oppressive energy. I would try to say Jesus and I just couldn't get the words out. So if that's happened to some of you all, this is absolutely your reading. Okay, this energy is an oppressive energy in which you need spirit protection. You need divine intervention. You have needed divine intervention throughout your life in order to overcome the oppressive energy of this spirit, because the spirit that has been coming against you, which is this ancestral karma, has been affecting your ancestors, your parents, their parents, etc. This energy wants to keep you guys, I'm hearing, consolidated. Okay, so whatever that means, it's almost like it wants to keep you compressed, attached to this specific one way of thinking. I'm seeing black and white thinking. They want to keep you attached to the ideas that keep you from actually operating in your authenticity. Okay? Look, the Five of Wands. Yeah, for sure. Let me put this tarot deck here. We're going to get to tarot in a moment, but I just want to see if there's anything else here. It's almost like it's the karmic, the ancestral karma is preventing you from having happiness and joy. I mean, if you feel shame, if you feel guilt, if you feel constantly condemned, if you feel like you're not good enough, if you feel inadequate, I could totally see how that could steal your joy. So it seems like your ancestral karma, right away, what I'm picking up on is that you have not been happy. You've been unfulfilled. You've been lacking joy in your life. And this is connected to your ancestors and some type of karmic debts. It feels like I said earlier, an oppressive energy of conflict, strife, and chaos. I was picking up that some of you as children, you may have, okay, they're telling me bring this back. Some of you as children may have had to deal with a lot of conflict and chaos in your households. Maybe not having peace, and also almost as if joy couldn't reside there. I'm hearing someone's parent could have been an alcoholic, or some type of an addictive patterns in the household that prevented joy from being present, because it feels like every time something happens to give you some type of joy, it gets stolen. It feels, and that's where the oppressive energy comes in. Like this ancestral karma is affecting your joy in the present moment. Like Four of Cups energy, where maybe you have opportunities accessible and available to you, but they just don't feel like they're good enough. Okay, they don't feel like they stick, is what I'm hearing. So some of you could be like, I have no idea why I'm not happy. I don't have a reason to not be happy. And that's what this karmic ancestral karma is, this karmic debt is. And anytime these karmic debts are brought to your attention, it's because your ancestors are calling on you to clear those debts, which is why they said earlier that this is a gift. For some of you, could feel like this is a curse, but it's actually a blessing, and it's a gift because you're the one who's able to conquer it once and for all. And the way that you conquer these ancestral karmic debts is by calling them out, acknowledging that they're present, that they were there, and then it shifts the energy. And my little sand thing here, I don't know if you can see it. You can't. I can't move it though, because it'll shift the energy in it, but it was stagnant. And as soon as I started saying that you were the gift, the reason for this being able to be cleared out, it immediately shifted, and now there's a flow. And it's an Eight of Wands energy of constantly moving forward, making progress, and then at some point this is going to clear itself up. And so that's the message for you, is that you're receiving this as what maybe was given to you undesired, it's like the gift that you didn't really want, like that fruitcake for Christmas or something, but this was given to you as an offering for you to be able to restore the joy back into your family lineage. Okay, for some of you, I'm seeing like a grandmother or a mom who you watched growing up moping around, almost like a melancholic, like Eeyore type energy from Winnie the Pooh, where she just didn't seem to have any zeal or zest for life. And Spirit is saying you watched her and you often thought, God, I don't want to live my life like that. And you have fought as hard as you could to resist this energy, not knowing that this was connected to your lineage. And now it's time for it to be resolved, because it's showing up in your life in a sense that you can't seem to find that happiness either. Like they mentioned earlier, you've been on a quest for joy. You have moments where you're like, I should be happy. For some of you, I'm even hearing that you had children and you were like, oh my God, I love my children, but you just can't seem to find the joy in mothering or in parenting, right? Like, it's like those are the things that rob you of life and joy, is and you're confused by it. It's mind-boggling to you that you can't actually feel the joy that you've been desiring to feel, because I can feel the resistance in it. Like, why am I unhappy? Like, that's what you feel. Why am I unhappy? I don't have a reason to not be happy. You look at your kids and you're like, oh my God, I love them. They're so special. They're so cute. And then you see other moms or dads and they're just like overjoyed by their children. And you're like, I just don't feel that connection. And it's because of some type of oppressive energy that was attached to your ancestors. I'm picking up on some energy of like slaves or Holocaust survivors in your lineage that has affected now you being where you're at. If they were not like African slaves or, the Holocaust survivors, things like that, the Jewish individuals, if they weren't from those communities, there's an energy of someone in your ancestral lineage or peoples, right? Several people, could have been more than one, that had to endure some type of hardship where they were like treated unjust, like given treatment that would be for like a slave, like we see in books and history, right? It's that type of treatment where it's like, oh, you're just the worst. And that trickled down to the rest of your family, including you. It's the energy of that. That's that ancestral karma, is the energy of what we're carrying from the weight of those who came before us. Okay, so let's take a look and see, you guys. I can't make this up, I swear. Look at this. Joy. As I do will, so mote it be. Let joy and light radiate from me. Oh my gosh, guys. Let me tell you, in pile number 1, I was overwhelmed. I'm feeling that same overwhelming feeling now where I want to cry. And I'll tell you why. I feel like this is my calling. Like, this is why I feel I've been placed on the planet, is to help people to heal the family wounds, that ancestral karma, so that you can reach your ancestral dharma, okay, which is the good, the blessings, the gifts of your ancestors. As someone who feels like they're operating in that ancestral dharma by clearing out my ancestral karma, I want to be able to gift that to others, because it's such a blessing to be able to operate in this. So I pulled the cards for piles 1, 2, and 3. I did the shuffling and all of that 2 days ago, guys. So I have no idea like what any of the piles were. Your pile was calling to me from the very first moment. I remember hearing the shame, guilt, and condemnation when I was laying the cards out. I knew that this pile was going to be deep, but I'm amazed by the fact that Spirit and your ancestors are willing to show up like this for you to help you clear this out. So absolutely your joy has been affected. Okay, guys, we already talked about this. I don't feel like I need to carry on and continue to speak of it, but it's almost like I'm seeing you reaching for rainbows and feeling like you can never actually touch them. For some of you, what Spirit is saying in this energy, and Spirit and your ancestors will drop little nuggets and tips on how to clear this karmic debt throughout the reading. Okay, so as I receive those messages, I will obviously give them to you. But the first thing coming through is to play more, to kind of force yourself into activities that you feel are fun, even if they don't look fun to you. If you see other people having fun, just put yourself out there and just go out and do it. They're showing someone jumping around in like what are those places called? Like Sky Zone, I think is what our local facility is called. It's like a facility where it's like a bounce house, where they have bounce houses, or trampolines. For some of you, putting a trampoline in your backyard or going to a park where you can, just run around, that may be impactful for you. Wiping away the sorrows by finding things that are more fulfilling to you is the message that's coming through in this energy. For some of you, the individual in your family that could have been afflicted by this slave type energy that I'm picking up on, oppressive energy, could have been a grandfather, an uncle, great uncle, something like that. I'm seeing a masculine energy that was kind of weighed down and oppressed to the point to where he kind of just fell into that. And again, that kind of trickled into the rest of your family. Again, it could have caused some alcoholism or things like that later on or throughout, other generations. But it feels like it's a masculine energy here that may have been oppressed so much that it led to a ton of guilt, shame, and constant condemnation. And again, that's what's kind of bled into the rest of the family. Now, a very interesting thing that Spirit is showing me in regards to this specific ancestor, this grandfather, masculine energy. Okay, it could have been an uncle, grandfather, dad. I don't know who it is specifically, guys, but it's very interesting. It's almost like they the oppressors, the enemy, whoever they were, okay, they almost turned this individual into someone that they were not. Okay, so I'm seeing someone like carry a ton of shame. This masculine ancestor of yours, carried an abundance of shame due to it's like an appearance. It's very interesting. It's like he was maybe very, tall and very handsome, good looking, and there was something that happened to him, and it caused him to transfer that into shame, and to where it changed his actual physical appearance. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. Whatever this event was, or these events that took place, they stole his appearance, okay, robbed him of the beauty that he had, and it was due to some type of jealousy. Now I'm getting spirit chills everywhere. It was due to some type of jealousy based on him being stout and handsome, very attractive man here that I'm seeing. And it was almost like the jealousy of the other masculine energies within that community or village. They did whatever they could to wear on him until it began to actually work. Okay, definitely oppressive energy here. Like maybe making him do something, forcing him to do something maybe while he was even drunk, because they're showing me the story in the Bible with Abraham and how he got drunk and some weird things happened. They're showing me that story, but it's like maybe the local community men got him drunk and sent him out to go and do something, and then he shamed himself, like basically like getting, undressed in the middle of the village or in the middle of the community in front of everyone. Now everyone saw him through that lens, and that caused him to change his physical appearance because he wore so much shame and guilt. Even though he was kind of forced or coerced into doing that, it stole his identity. So this joy that is missing in your life is stealing your identity. It's robbing you of your authenticity because there's no freedom in this. There's something about allowing yourself to sit with the energy. They're showing me the Seven of Pentacles. Something about allowing yourself to sit in the energy, to not allow situations to, okay, I get it. When something happens and you feel this shame, guilt, or condemnation, when you feel like you are undeserving of joy, okay, because that's another part of this, is there's an undeserving energy of feeling like you're unworthy of the joy, okay? When you feel that energy come up, Spirit is asking you to sit with it. To sit with it. But there's something very specific that Spirit wants you to do. When you sit with that energy, allow it to soften you and not harden you. Because Spirit is showing that what happens is when you sit with shame, guilt, condemnation, you kind of turn cold, harden. It can harden your heart because you feel disconnected from joy, from happiness. You feel disconnected from that rainbow that Spirit was showing you reaching for, okay? So when you sit with this energy, allow the feelings and the emotions to flow. If you feel sad, if you want to cry, if you feel angry, if you're pissed off that this even happened to you, all of those feelings, emotions are warranted, they're acceptable, and you should embrace them, my friend. Allow those feelings to resonate with you. Sit with it. Pick up the energy and ask it, like, how are you affecting me right now? How are you going to affect me in 5 minutes? And how are you going to affect me moving forward? There's something about owning the energy when it appears, when it shows itself, but not allowing it to harden you, and instead allowing it to soften you. It's almost like Spirit is showing when these feelings come up, you can either choose to tap into your heart space, the heart chakra specifically. They're showing me a green heart like being held in the palm of my hand, or you can tap into like a hard rock on this side. It's a gray rock, which is full of grief and sorrow. So you can either tap into this energy or you can tap into the heart chakra energy. And Spirit is saying when you allow yourself to create a balance, your heart, even though it is way less in weight than the rock, your heart will stabilize things and balance it out in order to be able to lift you up. Very interesting. I have to even digest all that myself, guys, but that's the message, okay? So let's see what else we have here. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Guys, I love our team here. Look at this. This is what the masculine energy from your lineage had to deal with, was regret. This regret of the error of whatever, exposing themselves, or the mistake that was made within that village, that community, in that time frame, has stuck with your ancestors from that day forward. It was almost like the shame that was worn on the whole family. And this energy has, again, affected you and is still affecting you even today, but in a space to where you may have a lot of regrets that you end up sitting and sulking in as well, okay? This feels like the Five of Cups energy with the Five of Pentacles, where there's a constant feeling of unworthiness, okay? A constant sitting in, that's that shame, right? Shame, guilt, condemnation, they all come from regrets. There's a constant feeling of dissatisfaction. And so with this regret energy, your ancestors are saying that there's nothing that you could do to change the past, including in your own life. Okay, so they're saying to bring this home to you, because for some of you, just focusing on your ancestors and seeing the big picture doesn't necessarily bring it back. So Spirit is saying specifically with you to bring this back to you. The regrets of your errors, your mistakes, things that you may have regretted doing in the past cannot be changed. Those experiences cannot be changed. Those experiences were gifts as well. They were opportunities for you to step into your power, for you to recognize the things that needed to be resolved, for you to release the things that you know you were holding on to unnecessarily. They were opportunities and gifts for you to step into your authenticity. So those were not mistakes. And I think that that's one thing that your ancestors and guides want to bring into you today. They're saying, bring that back, circle that back around. Those were not mistakes. Those were opportunities and experiences for you to be able to learn. One thing that we as humans do, which our spirit team will advise us highly against this, is we like to take experiences and churn them. Okay, they're showing me Eight of Swords energy, just churning that energy where we're constantly sitting in it. When you have an ancestral karma that's as oppressive as shame, guilt, and condemnation, it will only trigger you into more regret, shame, guilt, and condemnation when you allow your earthly opportunities, lessons, and experiences to push you into further, regret. So Spirit is saying there has to be some balance. There's no light without dark, okay? There's no joy without sorrow. So all of these oppositions or opposing energies, differences, these variances, they are gifts because they allow us to be able to experience the highs and lows. There's no heaven if you don't know what hell feels like, right? So it's like Spirit is saying these are all gifts for you, including the things that you have experienced that you may be sitting in regret with right now. Those were experiences, beautiful experiences, is what your ancestors are saying. They're saying that you're so hard on yourself that you don't leave any space for your humanity. You're so hard on yourself that you leave no room for error. They're saying you're so hard on yourself that you won't allow yourself to be happy. They're saying that the blockage comes from ancestral karma, but moving forward, now that you're being made aware of this, it would be yours to be held accountable to. So they're basically what they're saying is that any regrets that you move forward with after this reading will be yours, and you will have to hold yourself accountable to them, because they're saying we're offering you this gift. Evidently, your ancestors have been nudging you, pile number 2. I'm picking up on that heavily. They've been nudging you to try to find joy, to tap into joy, and to come out of the sorrows of regrets. Your ancestors are, they said obsessed with you. I love it. I love it. They said they're obsessed with you. Wow. They're obsessed with you, and they are committed to seeing you through to the other side, to where you actually experience joy. There's a deep sorrow and a sadness that hangs over your ancestors. I actually want to cry right now. It's heavily connected to the fact that they feel responsible for you operating in this regret, in the shame and the guilt. They feel heavily responsible for you operating in that energy, and they're here to free you. They don't want you to sit in this. They said not a second longer. They said you deserve greater, you deserve better. You are honorable, you are noble, you are distinct, set apart. They said liquid gold. Wow. Your ancestors are phenomenal. I mean, like, if you want to get hyped up, come to pile number 2. I'm telling you, you are so loved, pile number 2. They're saying the shift has to come from you being willing to, okay? They're showing me a little bit of like stubborn rigidity energy is what they're saying right now. A little stubborn rigidity, that energy that doesn't necessarily want to release, and it's a fear that if things work out in your favor, that it's going to be taken from you again. Oh, so deep. Connected to that masculine energy. See, he wanted to try to come out of that space. He didn't want to walk in the shame, but he felt that it would be like reverted against him. So basically, because your ancestors had situations twisted to make them out to be the bad guys, now that's the energy that is karma, ancestral karma that you carry. You may have some fears and concerns that if you succeed, that someone's going to come in and rob it, that you're going to have a thief come in and steal that from you, and that you're not going to actually be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That also may be why you tend to not find joy in things, because you're like, if I get too happy, the joy is going to go away, right? And I can't be happy every single day all the time. Like, that's impossible. And your ancestors are saying that's not impossible. That actually is possible. It's a choice. They're saying joy comes with a choice to be free, to walk in your authenticity. And they didn't have that. They carried so much shame, so much guilt. They were condemning themselves because others condemned them frequently. And that prevented them from actually being able to operate in the freedom that they desire for you. So this is about your freedom, pile number 2. Your ancestors want to free you to a space to where you can be full of joy. And they keep showing this hardened rock. So for some of you, your bodies may carry a lot of this. Your physical bodies may carry a lot of your ancestral karma. You know, if you've listened to any of my other readings, if you go to Blooming Tao, Bloomingtao, her name is Uthra. She does a 7-day chakra clearing class, and I did that. And guys, it changed my life, and I'm going to tell you why. It's directly connected to my ancestral karma, so this is connected to your reading. So when I did this 7-day chakra clearing course, I did not realize how much ancestral DNA was trapped in my body. I frequently do Reiki sessions with my chiropractor as well. And I've told her several times, like, hey, doctor, like, oh my God, like I felt some ancestral DNA connected to this session. And so we don't realize how affected our physical bodies are by our lineage, but it's absolutely the truth. So that may be a benefit for you. If you go to Blooming Tao and you see Uthra, tell her that I sent you, okay? Wow, guys, look at this. Sekhmet with the wounded healer, guys. I'm going to read this card at the very end of the reading. This is powerful. This is powerful. One thing I want to point out is this very direct correlation. I'm covering because our chachas are out, guys, but there's a very direct correlation between this energy here and what Spirit was showing me in that joy card. So you see her, she's got the body of a feminine, right? Let me see if I can kind of show you a little more. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, we'll make it work. But she has the body of a feminine, but her face is like a cat. Okay, and this is almost what Spirit was showing me with your ancestors. It's just that they were showing me that it was that your ancestor was a dog, like he was converted to a dog rather than being, you know, a man. Like they made him a dog when he really was a man. Let's see if I can cover. I may have to move her over here for the sake of this. So there's something in this energy of not allowing yourself to be turned into like an animal or a monster when that's not really who you are. There's also an energy in this wounded healer card. Let me grab something, guys. I'm sorry. Forgive my little squeaky chair. But I wanted to get this because I want to be able to read this energy, and that Palo Santo is just too huge for me. Okay, so in this Sekhmet energy, this is the wounded healer, okay? And she is directly connected to, you may have some Egyptian lineage or something that's coming through for sure, but she's directly connected to healing the wounds and not being afraid to stand out. But there's something else here. I'm going to read this right now because Spirit is trying to come through, and they want to say something. Your ancestors want to say something, and I want to be able to collect the messages. So let's just read this now, guys. Okay, so Sekhmet, goddess of wounded healers from Egypt. Alrighty, Sekhmet is the fierce ancient Egyptian goddess of war, the sun, and healing. She carries life force in her palm with the power to create or destroy. Wow. Heal thyself is her guidance. Everyone gets your best except you. You are a healer among your tribe. Stop putting your needs last. The embodiment. When did you decide to become a martyr? Take a breath. Wounded healers hold sadness, rage, and fears of brokenness. Being a warrior wasn't a choice for our beloved foremothers. They did the best they could. But being a goddess warrior for us is knowing that we have the choice not to fight all the time. Deep dive questions. What are your swords, the weapons you use to fight? Wow. And what are your shields, the ways you defend yourself? Dare to lay the burdens down along with your swords and shields. The goddess declaration is, it is safe to put myself first. And that is so interesting because I paused the video to grab a sip of water and I heard self-care. Your team was saying in that moment that there's an ask that you pay attention to yourself. So sometimes when you're so busy trying to heal others, help others, or when you are a service, provider, okay, because I was seeing a nurse in that joy card. So if you're any type of career that serves the community, okay, you could be a bus driver, you could be a garbage man or woman, it doesn't matter, whatever your position is, police officer, whatever your position is in the community, that's a service community. You don't have to work in healthcare to be in a service field, guys. If you're doing something for others, that's service, okay? Even if you work in a grocery store, that's service. Like if you work in a post office, any of those are service jobs, okay? I don't know why I'm stressing that, because I think we get so caught up in like titles that, oh, if you're not a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse, then you're not. No, that's not. No, you're serving people. Okay, anyways. So you can neglect yourself oftentimes, right? And there's something coming through in regards to your job being the thing that maybe has given you validation in the past. Maybe seeking jobs that make you feel validated to help you offset some of the regret or the shame is what your ancestors are saying. So that could be connected to your karma too. Your ancestral karma is that maybe you've sought out responsibilities or taken on more responsibilities than you actually wanted to, whether it be jobs with the family, etc., at home, just taking on more than you should for the sake of trying to again offset that shame and guilt. You may be living in that space where you're constantly feeling like you have to go above and beyond in order to be seen or validated, appreciated, or welcomed even. That's coming through too. It's something about excess. Okay, guys, there's something coming through about excess. Doing more than is necessary to try to decrease the shame, guilt, and condemnation that you feel frequently. And it is rooted in regret. Wow. All right, let's keep going. Wow, the ocean of divine wrath, anger, resentment, and vengeance. Okay, this makes perfect sense because whatever happened to that masculine energy, it was unjust, right? We heard the story. It was unjust. It wasn't right. And for you, this feels like your ancestral karma has led you to a space of feeling like you need to take vengeance into your own hands. Like you're the one here to resolve all the things that have been done against your family. And so this is very interesting because the energy and your ancestors are showing up immediately at the beginning of the reading to say that you're missing joy in your life. But this is the reason why, guys, is because it's embedded underneath that pain. Okay, remember how they were showing that gray rock earlier and it being stored in your body? We absolutely store anger, vengeance, and resentment in our bodies. Okay, your ancestors are saying that they showed you this regret card. I know that I cannot change the past, to show you that there's nothing you're going to do to resolve the future other than finding joy, tapping into your power. That's how you can shift the dynamics and the perspective. That's how you clear this ancestral karma, is for you to tap into joy. Okay, they're telling me this story that, you know how if you do what everybody expects you to do, say somebody's ticked you off, right? They're going to expect that you're going to be angry with them. But if you respond different than the way that they expect you to, that's how you really do something different to stand out. So your ancestors are saying for you, instead of operating from this space of divine wrath where there's no change, you're ineffective, they're saying. I'm just telling you like they're telling me. They're saying you're ineffective in acting out like this. Just going after people, pushing that energy out. You're ineffective. And they're saying all this is doing is bleeding into your life and your body. They said for some of you, this could even be affecting your health, or it could have affected your health over the years. Obviously, I'm not giving any medical advice. I don't have any advice to give, but I'm not a medical professional. But they're saying that very clearly, that this anger and resentment, this vengeance, the vengeful attitude, the idea of people hurt me and my lineage, so I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to destroy them. I'm actually going to show them what they did to us. I'm going to return to them what they gave to us. That is robbing your joy, pile number 2. Wow, this message is so clear. Wow. And it's interesting. They're showing me, they were like, go back to the card. You're the chain breaker. You're supposed to break this cycle because you've come from a lineage of individuals who have been filled with anger, vengeance, and who have been resentful of the things that have happened to them, the people that have done these things to them. But you're not supposed to stand out in this aspect and in this fashion. You're supposed to break the chain, pile number 2. You're the one that's supposed to clear this karma so that you can experience your dharma. Did we say that at the beginning of the reading? I think so. Look, expand. Guys, I won't read these cards. I intuitively just pick up on the messages as they're presented to me. But if you want to, I will put it here and you can take a screenshot. This expand is Jupiter energy, spirit, and your ancestors. Sorry guys, my nose itches like crazy whenever I'm like tapped in, so forgive me. Your ancestors are asking you to expand beyond the norm, okay? I heard that very clearly. They're asking that you grow something new, be different. They're showing me Aquarius energy. They want you to stand out. They want you to take the energy that has been anger and flip it on its head and turn it into joy. They want you to take the resentment and turn it into respect, honor, dignity. They're saying flip this on its head, okay? They're very, very, very adamant and serious about you taking this energy and turning it into energy that is healing not only to yourself but to the world around you. And you can only do so by expanding your perspective, pile number 2. They want you to grow beyond this and not be stuck in this any longer. That's why they were saying earlier, not a second longer. They are so serious about you. Oh my gosh. And look at this, take charge. Oh my God. Look at the card though. You see how this person looks like they're over here dictating. There's someone here who looks like they're being chastised. And then this individual is standing back just observing. It's almost like this is the story. Oh, you know what they're showing me? Okay, let me tell you real quick. So this is the story of what happened with your ancestors. This is you taking charge, not allowing this to affect where you're moving forward. There's another door here behind you. If you would ignore the fact that that happened, move in this direction, or not ignore, but accept the fact that that happened, that you cannot change it. Yes, you guys were wronged in the past. It was unacceptable, not okay. But now turn around, go through this door, and create a new story, a new picture. Take charge of your life and expand your vision. Take charge of your ancestors, is what I'm hearing, and expand your vision. They're saying that if you would expand the way that you see things, if you would change your perspective and shift it, flip it on its head, and operate from a space of joy rather than from regret, anger, shame, guilt, condemnation, that stuff that we've already said 10,000 times. If you would shift from that into joy, you'll notice how your world starts to shift. They're also saying something about manifesting and abundance and how that comes only from a place of joy. There's no manifestation of abundance. There's no prosperity. There's no reciprocity in vengeance, anger, and divine wrath. It does not exist there. They're making that very clear. What they were showing me in this Take Charge card is that scene in, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to clean my nose, that scene in Frozen, you know, Frozen 2, I want to say, where, was it Anna? She I think that's her name, guys, where she went to go in that, like, the ice room, and she was seeing her family lineage, like she was seeing all those stories. So that has something to do with this too, is being able to observe the stories of the past and take them and utilize them in the way that your ancestors were not able to. They're saying including your parents. They're saying for some of you, your parents weren't even able to do this, but now you are. They're saying you're the one. They're telling me that Sekhmet energy came up because you're the one. You're the chosen one, pile number 2. How fantastic is that? You're the chosen one. Let's look at the cards here. Will you marry me? Wow. Okay, immediately what I was picking up on this is that for some of you, the ancestral karma could have been connected to a relationship. Like maybe your ancestors weren't supposed to marry into other communities, villages, families, something like that. And there's something like that that could have been impacting and affecting your lineage. But also what came through for this card right away, and it's screaming at me right now, is that this energy of shame, guilt, condemnation has affected the relationships within your family. You may have come from a family where there aren't very many people that are married. Like maybe your aunts, uncles, parents are divorced. Maybe you notice your cousins, like you're like, dang, nobody is married in my family. So this could be impacting your family lineage by having unhealthy relationships because there's a vengeful energy and anger that kind of resides, you know, as the ancestral karma, right? So Spirit is saying for some of you too that you have a desire to be married, you have a desire to be in a healthy, happy relationship, but they're saying very clearly that that will not come until this energy is dissolved, is what they're saying. They're saying not even resolve, dissolve. Let's look at the difference between a dissolve and a resolve, okay? Because that's interesting. They're specifically saying dissolve. I know what dissolve means. I know you guys do too, but let's just look at the dictionary and see what it says. Dissolve is to make a solution of, as by mixing with a liquid, pass into solution, okay? To melt, to liquefy. Oh, to undo a tie or a bond, break up a connection or a union. So this is to undo, to bring to an end, terminate and destroy, okay? That's dissolving. Terminate and destroy, to bring to an end. Resolve is, let's just look it up, to come to a definite or earnest decision about, okay? To convert or transform by any process. So they don't want you to resolve this because they don't want you to transform this. They want you to get rid of it once and for all. That's why they said dissolve and not resolve. That wow, I never even thought about that. And then you have reason here. Wow, okay. Reason. Okay, I get it. Okay. Hold on, I got a cough. So this reason card, the message is very clear here, guys. What they're saying is that you can come up with 1,000 reasons as to why this should have never happened, okay? They're showing someone just constantly trying to, well, that should have never happened, and like, just constantly kind of agonizing over, oh, agonistic, it says that there, right? Okay. Oh, agnostic, guys, forgive me, I'm misreading. That's agnostic. Okay, never mind. I mean, I guess that kind of could go along with what I'm saying. But anyways, they're showing me someone constantly agonizing over that should have never happened, right? Like, this was unfair. Why would they do this? This is not okay. They need to pay us back. They need to give us recompense for the things that they did. It's like an angry individual who is very pissed off, forgive me, I can't use any other words, about these things happening. And your ancestors are saying, you can reason all day. You can get yourself caught in this little loophole right here is what they're showing. And you can try to sit in the idea of reasoning all day. However, this reasoning does not allow you to operate in freedom of judgment. Okay? Wow. That is powerful as heck. What they're saying is that this constant reasoning that you are doing, the constant reasoning is almost like your way out of, like talking yourself out of joy and talking yourself into why you have the right to be angry. They're telling me to tell you a little bit about divine and just righteous anger, okay? Because there is a such thing as righteous anger. What it is when we have been wronged for no reason, okay? Which that's clearly the case here. You've been wronged for no reason. You didn't deserve this. It's like I told pile number 1. So ancestral karma kind of works like this. Imagine you're walking down the street, just minding your business. Somebody's walking, on the same side of the street as you, but going in the opposite direction, and they just chuck a bag of potatoes at you. And you're like, what the heck? And now you're left with that. And you're like, I didn't ask for this. So you have the right to be angry by the fact that this happened to you. Like, that's how your ancestor felt too. That grandpa masculine energy I was seeing earlier, that's how they felt too. They felt like this was unjustly done to them. However, they said after processing and allowing the situation to resonate in their minds, which is why they told you earlier to or recommended that you take a pause and sit with the energy. They're saying as they did that and they matured, they recognized that, you know what, I didn't ask for this, but I can now correct this. And so that's what they're saying to you, is that they're giving you an offering right now today, a gift in this message to shift this. Reasoning has basically been a way out for you, is what they're saying, because they're showing me that rigidity, that rigid energy that they were showing earlier, stubborn energy. They're saying that your reasoning has allowed you a way out, and what they're saying is no more. They're like putting their foot down. They're saying no more, pile number 2, that this is not the life that you were intended to live. They're also saying that they didn't transition for this to stay this long in your lineage. And so now at this point, they're like, we need this to be resolved, and we've chosen you to resolve it. But will you agree to work with us, or will you continue to go against us? They're showing me that scale that they showed earlier with the rock and the heart. And that's also kind of like the energy of Ma'at is what they're showing me here. And so they're saying that Ma'at weighs, the heart against a feather. And if you can relieve yourself from this divine wrath and have a righteous anger, which allows you to be angry, but it does not allow you to operate from a place of anger, right? You can be frustrated by the fact that your ancestors were wrong, that you've been wronged, right? That things have happened to you unfairly and unjustly. You can be angry about that, but it should not come out of you, okay? It's like a lemon. You shouldn't be squeezed and sour come out. Instead, they want you to shift that perspective, and they want you to be like that lemon that is squeezed, and sweetness comes out, because the energy that should be spilling out of you is the energy of healing. Okay, and that's because you have a mission and you're here to support others in this healing journey, others who have this same ancestral karmic debt that they're trying to work through. You will have the power, the source to assist and support them once you're able to remove this regret, shame, guilt, and condemnation from yourselves. Okay, this is powerful as heck. I love these readings. I'm here for it all day. I'll stay here all year. This is awesome, guys. So the next card out is the Water of Earth, and this is Nourishing Roots. Just heads up, this deck is extremely deep. I'm not going to read this until the end, but I am intuitively picking up on a message of water, emotion, energy of healing kind of being spread out throughout your body, but it hasn't been watered enough. It's almost like Spirit is saying, instead of depleting, see, this divine wrath energy is drying out your heart space. It's drying out the emotions, the love, the joy that you have within you. This card is almost crying out. It's almost like an ancestor's tear here that's saying, please allow love to flow through you and remove the guilt, shame, condemnation that have turned into anger within you and your body. And in order to do that, you're being asked to tap into your body, to connect with your body, to sit with your body, your physical body, your spirit body, your spirit man, to sit with the things that you really, really, really know are eating at you, and allow them to be resolved. Nope, dissolved. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Allow them to be dissolved with love, water, emotion. Okay, getting out in the earth, in the environment, that may be super beneficial to you. Okay, guys, so let's pull a few tarot cards, and then we are going to read that card and we'll close out your reading. I know these are long readings, guys, but I can't rush what the ancestors and spirit guides want to say. Okay, thank you for sticking around. I hope that this is beneficial to you. I hope you find something that helps you. I know what it's like to be trapped in anger and, you know, to just be frustrated by life and the things that it's handed to you, which most of the time we don't ask for them. Okay, guys. Let's see. The Fool is at the bottom of the deck. Pile number 2. Wow, look at that. The Six of Wands. This card is showing up. I want to just wait. Okay, I want to stop here. You have the Magician underneath it, but let's look at this Six of Wands, because there's something here. Okay, you'll notice that this wand, the Six of Wands, they have these regular wands here, and then this one is just standing out to me. Okay, it's almost like this Six of Wands energy is showing up to tell you that you're meant to stand out, but not stick out. Something like that. That's interesting. You're meant to stand out, but not stick out. They're saying that this energy of the divine wrath, the opposite of joy, it allows you to be seen, but it doesn't allow you to be heard. That's the first thing I'm hearing. They're also saying that that energy is allowing you to be seen from a place of pride, aggression, and anger, obviously, right? But yeah, they're saying anger, rather than from a space of where people can actually hear you. So for some of you, you may be, especially with the Magician being at the bottom of the deck earlier, you may be like a humanitarian of some sort. You may be an advocate. You may be one that stands up and speaks up for injustices that are done to other people. And if so, that's fantastic, guys. You may be a lawyer, but this is fantastic. The only challenge is that when you operate from this space of wrath, it can come across in a way that's not heard. And in addition, it really does seem like it's robbing you of your joy. Guys, that's coming through very strongly. The Six of Wands is saying, pile number 2, you are beautiful. You are authentic, right? There's something very unique about you. I think they used that word earlier too. There's something very unique about you, but it's almost like it can't be seen because you're overshadowing all of that with your like anger. the anger is only present because of the shame, guys. If you didn't have the shame, the guilt, the condemnation from this ancestor energy from the past, you wouldn't even be sitting in this. But it's definitely time for you to take charge of this, because it does seem very self-destructive and it seems very self-defeating. Okay, let's pull a few more cards and we'll see what we get. All right, guys. See this star, the Aquarian energy? That's the healing energy that I keep seeing that wants to be offered to you. It's like sitting with the energy, allowing it to be used as something beneficial. You have the Three of Wands. Lots of fire energy. Are you picking up on that? The Five of Wands, which we saw earlier. Lots of fire energy. You're taking lots of action with your anger. And I keep hearing, what if you took less action with anger and more action with joy? I'm going to get one more card over here that we'll put underneath the Sekhmet energy. The Three of Cups. Okay. The Ace of Swords is here at the bottom of the deck. This is about clarity. This is about starting over. You know, aces represent new possibilities, opportunities, experiences. And it's like your ancestors and team are here to say that if you can shift all of this energy around, you're going to start to bear new fruit. Okay, it's almost like a new fruit. It's a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating, a new way of accelerating is what I'm hearing. They're saying that you have no idea how bountiful, this very specific word, how bountiful your life will be once you shift this around. They're also saying to let you know that they are fully aware that you are not going to try to do this, but you are going to do this. They have full confidence in you, pile number 2. I'm seeing someone pass over like a shawl, like almost like a mantle. Like in church, they give these like shawls to people when they're given like task or roles. That's what they're showing me. Your ancestors are taking it's like a shawl. I don't know what to call it, but it's a shawl, an anointed cloth, something like that. They're taking it off of themselves and handing it over to you in this moment for you to now wear this with dignity and honor. They're basically saying to do better with it than they did. They don't want to continue to sit and sulk in the regrets of this shame, condemnation. They also don't want to see family members operate from this space of anger based on what's happened to them. So it's almost like they're like, we're relying on you to shift this energy for us so that we can move forward as, I'm hearing, a nation. Wow. So your task in this world could be larger than you think. Okay? That's why they said bountiful too. There's a community that's waiting on you. A community is waiting on you, pile number 2. They're waiting for you to take charge and expand, to stop reasoning with the shadow aspects of yourself. Instead, dissolve those. Let me use the right words because they're checking me right now, okay? But dissolve those things so that you can move forward into joy. And it's 3:33 on the clock right now, guys. So let's look deeper. We have the Three of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. This energy that, okay, I'm hearing a very specific message. For some of you, even if it's your job, if you're seen through the lens of this divine wrath, you recognize that, and that actually keeps you up at nights. It's actually very stressful to you that you are operating in this space, because there's a feeling here of you being very much aware that you should not operate from this space. It's just that you haven't known what to do or how to shift the energy. You also were unaware that it was actually affecting you and your family lineage as much as it is. So it's like this is bringing to your awareness. It's almost like it's bringing it up. The soil is being churned or turned, right? You know, toiling in the soil, how you flip it around. That's kind of what's happening for you today, pile number 2, is that your ancestors are like, listen, we've been trying to get you to see this, but you haven't, so let me just flip it around. All the soil is now flipped over, so now you're seeing all parts of it in order for you to be able to really heal it. This 3 of Wands energy, these acorns are showing me that this is deeply rooted within you. Okay, this energy is deeply rooted within you, and of course we know that this is attached to your ancestors, but there's something about the energy flowing out of you being more powerful than what was placed in you. Okay, they're showing me like a deposit, but also a withdrawal, and they're showing that there's more to withdraw from you than there was deposited into you. Very interesting concept, but the way that they're showing it to me is like you received a portion of this ancestral karma. However, what you have to offer is way more powerful than what we deposited into you. It's just that you have taken this little bit, not knowing that that's what it was, right? You didn't know that this stemmed from this tiny little like acorn, and you've grown it into this boulder. And they're saying now it's time for you to shrink it down, dissolving it and allowing it to dissipate. This 5 of Wands is showing up as this divine wrath energy, right? This is the energy of constantly having conflict. And what they're showing here, and they're saying this very clearly, your ancestors are very clear, okay? I love them because they're making it, they're straight to the point. They're not holding back. You probably are very straightforward. You're probably very direct. Again, some of you may be a lawyer or have like lawyer-like energy where you just say whatever you want to say. You don't really care. You could be a Cancer, an Aquarius, a Gemini, Scorpio, you know, those types of energies, Taurus sometimes. But I'm picking up on an energy of someone who draws. They're telling me that you're not recognizing this, but you're drawing this negative energy to you because it's what you put out. So they're saying that if you have been facing constant conflict or feeling like the world is against you, it's not the world, it's you. They're very clear, guys, and I'm sorry I have to deliver messages how they're delivering it to me. They're saying it's not the world, it's you, and it's you based on, they're saying something about the crown chakra. So the crown chakra is your 7th chakra. This is the one that actually connects you to the world. It's like the way that you perceive the world and the lens that you see the world through. So there's something there. That's also, thank you. Okay, they're telling me that's also why this 3 of Cups is here. For some of you, you feel disconnected from people, and because you feel like you can't actually have healthy relationships with people based on this energy that you've been operating from, you focus on work with this 8 of Pentacles. And again, they're taking me back to what was mentioned earlier, where some of you put so much emphasis on work, or you try to focus so much on task, doing things. You just stay busy doing to avoid sitting. Wow, you guys are bringing this full circle. They're not messing around, guys. They're not messing around. They're saying that's also that Sekhmet energy that was mentioned earlier. Let me get this deck again so we can look, because we kind of have, gone past this. But they're saying that the message is, they're telling me the message is clear. They're saying here, this is what they want me to read. The deep dive questions. What are your swords? The weapons you use to fight. Wow. They're saying that your swords and your weapons you use to fight could be doing task. They're showing me Martha and Mary in the Bible, and how, Martha wanted to just keep doing. I think, and it was Mary who was in there sitting at her feet, or Jesus' feet, vice versa, right? Whoever, which one. But they're saying that don't be so focused on doing that you miss the picture, because doing is a weapon, and it's a weapon that we can use to defend and protect ourselves, to keep ourselves safe. It's a weapon that we can use to prevent ourselves from actually sitting with the energy and dealing with it. But they're saying it's also a weapon that allows you to stand out, but to not be seen. Wow. So they're saying you can stand out. People will notice you, but you're not ever being seen, meaning no one's actually hearing what you're saying. Your messages are almost falling on deaf ears, because they're saying that the way that it's being delivered is through this energy of divine wrath. Wow. That interesting how all of this can connect back to shame, guilt, and condemnation. Those are the three words that you guys know we started this reading off with, and they keep bringing them back to me, and they're saying the same thing over and over and over again. They're repetitive, and they're saying that they're willing to repeat this thousands of times over because they just want you to get it. They're trusting in you. They're believing in you. Their faith is placed in your hands, pile number 2, and they are desperate for you to dissolve this. I was about to say resolve, and they said, no, get it right. Then the next part of this is, and what are your shields? The ways you defend yourself. Okay, so they're showing that. Wow, this makes perfect sense. Your weapons are being used to fight. So your weapons could be your words, your actions, especially with all these wands here, actions. Also, too, I'm picking up a huge message here in regards to this Nine of Swords, that you're using your weapons against yourself. That's how this Nine of Swords energy is present here, is you're weaponizing yourself by keeping yourself in this constant loop. Like you're continuing to self-sabotage, like almost self-defeating by keeping yourself stuck in this energy. Wow. And your shields, you're using your words, you're using your wrath as a shield to protect you from being seen as someone who deals with shame, guilt, and condemnation. And let me just tell you, I know exactly how that feels. You're not alone. And absolutely, this is absolutely accurate. Your ancestors are powerful as heck, pile number 2. Let me just tell you that. Dare to lay the burdens down along with your swords and shields. And they're saying, look at this declaration. It is safe to put myself first. They're saying that there's safety in you being able to humble yourself and see yourself in the light that Spirit sees you in. There's also safety in you being able to find joy and experience it. They're saying that you deserve that. You deserve that, pile number 2. Wow. Woo. Okay, let's read this card and we'll close your reading out. This is Water of Earth, Nourishing Roots. Let me find the page while I catch my breath. These cards are kind of hard to find, guys, so I have to kind of read through. Okay, sorry, y'all. I was looking right at it clearly right here. Nourishing Roots, Water of Earth, 42. Yeah, it's almost like, for you too, you could have had this answer right in your face the whole time, but just not seeing it. Okay, that was coming through. I hope you guys can see this. All right, let's read. Nourishing Roots, Water of Earth. As the flowing feeling of life embodies into the earth energies, a reaching into the depths returns a bounty of enrichment. The meditation is utilization of resources, nourishing the many sides of myself and the learning and knowing of what I need. This is a card of good medicine, connecting with myself in the inner and outer in ways that nourish, heal, and revitalize. It shows me how to wind around obstacles in order to reach my needs and sink the roots from which I can rise. There is something just out of my awareness, something down in the depths beyond my knowing, but I know it is what I need, and I let desire fuel and guide my reaching. The nourishment I draw into me feeds both my striving for the light and my digging into the dark. Nourishment grants me greater ability at finding further nourishment. The inquiry is, how can I locate and reach the deep nourishment that I desire? Wow. Wow. Whew. Pile number 2. Wow. I think your ancestors gave you the answer to that question. It's deep within. It's rooted within you. Your ancestors carry a joy. They just weren't able to tap into it. They weren't able to tap into it because they chose to operate from a state of conflict, rage, anger, resentment, and regret rather than operating from joy. There's a shift when you operate from joy. Joy is rooted and grounded in your solar plexus chakra, your sacral chakra, in the energy of knowing who you are, and in your heart chakra, which is established in finding the purest version of yourself, embracing that, and reparenting that inner child. I hope to God that this blessed you. This was a beautiful reading. Beautiful, beautiful reading. There's no condemnation. Your ancestors are with you. I'm with you. I'm praying for you, your team, God, spirit guides, angels. You are highly supported, pile number 2. Just continue to push through. And I can't wait to hear how you dissolve this, flip it on its head, and restore joy back into your life. May peace be with you. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, letting me know if this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, that would be fantastic. I love hearing from you guys. If you wouldn't mind subscribing and liking, that would be fantastic as well. I'm just excited to be here. Thanks so much for sharing. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you didn't watch the intro and just skipped to your pile, today we're looking at how your ancestral karma is affecting you right now, okay? Like today in this present life, how is the karma of your ancestral lineage impacting you? All right, piles 1 and 2 were phenomenal, okay? I mean, like, I'm blown away by the way that ancestors and spirit has been showing up in these readings. So let's just push forward. If you chose the 6 of Cups from the Orion's Animal Tarot, this is your reading, okay? Guys, this is actually like the first deck that became my official ancestor deck. So there are, I don't know if it's just me or if other tarot readers do this too, but there are very specific decks that for me get attached to specific tasks, right? So this deck in particular was the very first deck that I was like, this is an ancestor deck. I was told that this is something special. This is a unique deck. And I was picking up on that in regards to your energy too before I started the reading, okay, guys? So I was picking up on a ton of energy. I was told to just do 1 pile a day. So I've been doing a pile a day. Forgive me, my throat is really like dry today for some reason. Hence why I'm telling you this. So anyways, I've been doing a pile a day for the last 3 days. The first day I did the shuffling. The second day I did pile 1. The third day I did pile 2. So actually 4 days now. Today I'm doing pile number 3. And so Spirit has just allowed me to take that pace for several reasons. The first reason is because they're allowing me to actually sit and meditate in the energy before I actually start your reading. Just heads up, guys, on the clock right now I'm seeing 222. So absolutely you're supposed to be here. This information today, your ancestral karma, could be affecting your romantic relationships. It could be affecting your ability to truly connect to another. That's coming through right now. But in prior meditations, what was coming through was that there's fear. Okay, so I think your ancestral karma is deeply rooted in fears. This is fears of success, fears of failures, fears of allowing people into your space, fears of being dismantled is what I'm hearing, okay? So fears of being dismantled by others. For some of you, you could have roots to like Creole, Louisiana, New Orleans. That's coming through right now. A lot of you have extremely powerful spiritual gifts, but you probably haven't operated in them, or haven't moved towards operating in them due to fears. Okay, this could be societal fears. It's absolutely rooted in the fear of something. So take that as it resonates. I put a stone, just as I felt called, on each of the decks to allow the energy to show up however it needs to. And for you guys have this lapis lazuli. Now you can look it up for yourself to see what you find, but lapis lazuli is a powerful, powerful spiritual communicator. That's the best way that I can describe what I'm picking up on the energy right now. But it's a very powerful spiritual communicator, which makes me feel like this is a part of your gift, okay? And oftentimes what will happen is when we have gifts as orators or seers or conduits, we typically get attacked, and it tends to come from like a fear-based energy. Fears of being seen for some of you is coming through right now as well, okay? So let's take a deep dive in and see what your ancestors and spirit guides have to say. There's something about getting tripped up on details, okay? So someone in your ancestral lineage could have been tripped up on details, and that prevented them from standing out. They're showing me these daisies here, and how, you know, when you go somewhere and you see a daisy, it's going to stand out to you. Your energy is an energy of one who stands out in a crowd. You are essentially meant to have a place and to take up space, but fears have been holding you back, preventing you from being willing to grow and nurture the areas and the parts of you that would be seen. So they're showing me someone who wears like sweatpants and sweatsuits all the time. It's like this person is extremely beautiful, like physically attractive, right? But they hide behind sweatpants, baggy clothes. Energetically, that's what you've been doing, okay? Whether it's physically, where you actually are wearing sweatpants and big baggy clothing, or hiding behind cover-ups. There's something about covering up and hiding your beauty because you don't want to bring in negative attention. There's something around a fear that you will get the wrong attention if you present yourself in your authenticity. There's a lack of intimacy is what I'm hearing too for some of you because of these fears. Now, what's interesting is they're showing identical twins here to me, so it could be a lack of intimacy just with yourself. For some of you, you could be an identical twin. Maybe an ancestor was a twin. Maybe twins run in your family. I'm not sure, but they're showing it as you having a challenge with being intimate with yourself due to fears. It's fears of rejection coming through as well. It's almost like you have rejected yourselves in a sense that's the reason why the fears show up in other areas of your lives, because you continuously or consistently reject yourself. They're saying that you don't show up for you, so how can others? Okay, your ancestors are getting straight to it. Some of them have like a Middle Eastern accent that's coming through very strongly. I'm hearing Australia though too. British, Europe accent, something like that, guys. Those are the things that are coming through. Something about a stone. There's something about a stone being present. I don't know if they're saying it's a kidney stone or something like that, but what they're showing is that spiritually, energetically, it's like there's a clog in the system. There's something that's preventing you from actually being able to move past it, okay? So this could be some type of trauma that happened in your ancestral lineage, a deeply rooted trauma would show up as a stone. Okay, this is something obviously that happened before you. Let me share with you what I shared with the other groups. So ancestral karma is basically this. You're walking down the street this way, someone is walking down the street in the opposite direction, and they have a bag of potatoes and they just kind of chuck it at you, and you catch it and you're like, oh, I don't want this bag of potatoes. This is kind of what ancestral karma is about. However, if you are the one who's receiving the messages in regards to how this is affecting you, it's because your ancestors have deemed you to be the lucky one to clear the karma out. So although we don't necessarily feel like we're choosing these things, we are gifted with the opportunity to be able to clear these karmas out. And how powerful is that God and your ancestors trust that you are strong enough, wise enough, mature enough, and really capable enough to be able to endure such a heavy load, okay? So although that sack of potatoes feels like it was thrown at you, I'm hearing you say it was unwarranted. Like, I don't want these fears. I don't want this. You have it, and you have it because you're powerful enough to cleanse your energy as well as your ancestors from this. I'm hearing them cheering in the background. It's almost like they're at like an Indy 500 race or something, like a race car event. I don't know what they're called, but like a race event where there's cars going around fast and it's like loud, and they're cheering. They're cheering for you. So your family may have something to do with like race cars, NASCAR, that type of thing. I don't know. It's almost like these fears have faded into the background of your existence. So, yeah, they're saying that the fears have been suppressed, but yet bubbling over. So for some of you, you may have felt very intense energies within the last 3 years. They're saying within the last 3 years, the energies around you could have intensified, and you could feel like they're bubbling up to the point to where you're like, I have to figure out what is wrong. I have to figure out why I can't, find happiness, joy. It's almost like you've been seeking an answer, seeking a higher perspective, clarity. That's coming through for some of you. And your ancestors are saying, we're here, we're here. There's something about Christianity, because they're showing me the sheep who follow their shepherds. That's coming through very strongly. So your ancestors could have been deeply rooted in Christianity, could have been believers. So I'm hearing someone say that was their pathway through, but it didn't actually clear this up for them. So that was like a way to give them hope, to allow them to aspire, to dream, to believe in greater. But they're saying that didn't resolve this. And so it's almost like an ask that I hear is like they're asking you, can you please like help resolve this? And they're saying, we're going to support you, give you the answers and clarity today so that you have exactly what you need. There's some type of a disconnect between so I'm like, how do I explain this? So they're showing me two flowers that grow from the same foundation, but their final result looks completely different. Okay, so they're saying you may have come from this same ground, right? The soil may have been the same for you as your previous ancestors. However, your growth process, the way that you maybe grew up, has been different than them. And they're saying that was the case so that you could clear this out. So if you wondered why you look a certain way, why there's something unique about you, why you're set apart, why you may not fit in with the rest of the family, for some of you, you could have like that black sheep type feel to you, to where you're like, oh, I don't even get along with them, they don't understand me. It's because you're the one who was chosen to be set apart to clear this karma up. And what you're probably unaware of, they're saying right now, is by you going in and doing the work by you purifying and cleansing, because that's what they're saying. They're bringing water into the picture. So you could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or that could be somewhere in your chart heavily, but they're showing me like water. You're the one who's the purifier. Okay, and it's not as if you're supposed to save your family or do anything like that. They're saying we're not giving you this savior complex. What they're saying is that you're the one who's going to purify the energy so that it doesn't continue on into your seeds and so forth. Okay, and they're also saying that what you're not aware of right now in this moment, but as you open yourself up and allow yourself to be washed and purified of these fears to resolve this pain, they're saying, and these traumatic experiences that your ancestors and you have had to endure, they said that's going to naturally just kind of pour out. They're showing water seeping out from under a door. So they're saying if this room is filled with water, if it's filled with purity, if it's been cleansed, if you fill a room with water, at some point it's going to seep out the doors. There's no way that it can stay just stuck in that one space. And so they're saying essentially that's what you're going to do. As you purify and cleanse the energy from yourself, your family members will notice, and it'll start to seep into them slowly but surely, they're saying, because there's something about like stubborn energy here, maybe with your family. They're showing me the Taurus bull, so maybe you or somebody else in your family is Taurus or something like that. The energy of the ancestor that could have kind of brought this into the family could have had that stone cold, stone hearted energy of, you know, like, I'm not going to do anything except what I want to do. And that was based and rooted in fears. So something could have happened to them. Okay, this is coming through very heavily, and this is probably going to be triggering if this has affected you or if you're aware of this within your family. But they're showing some type of schmexual, like molestation or something like that happening with family members that as children that put them in a state, or it could have even happened to you. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. They're saying that that could have been a root of what has kept someone stuck and trapped in fear. Because if you feel like no one listens to you, if you feel as if you are made to be a liar when you're speaking your truth, then of course you would operate in fear moving forward, because there's a fear of, that's where the fear of rejection comes from, is what they're saying. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. Give yourself a moment. If this happened to you or anyone in your family, just give yourself a moment to just allow the energy to just be present. We're in no hurry. You don't have anywhere to be. Neither do I. Just as I said that, guys, I started choking and my throat chakra just closed. It's like trapped right now. I paused so that I could just kind of catch my breath, but I wanted to come back immediately because there's a message in this, and this is that thing, whatever happened to you or your ancestors has trapped your throats. It's closed off your voices. And what a lot of us don't recognize is not only is your throat chakra the tool that you use to communicate, but it's also your ability to express yourself, which your ancestors are saying that this has been preventing you from expressing yourself. Okay. Again, going back to what they showed earlier, maybe some of you have gifts that you are keeping hidden, even spiritual gifts that you're keeping hidden, that you're not utilizing your voice in the way that you desire to for fears. Maybe some of you have something to say about this family skeleton that's been trapped in the closet that you're refusing to speak up about because you're afraid. And Spirit and your ancestors are saying the only way out is through, is what they're saying. So the only way to come out of this is to push through this. And, you know, that was essentially what they were kind of telling me to do, is like push through this. Your voice wants to be cut off pile number 3. There is an opposition to you using your voice, and that opposition is just as afraid as you are. They're showing that very clearly, that your opposition is just as terrified as you are. It doesn't mean that you are, they're saying this very clearly. They're not saying to go out and start exposing the world and to discredit or, be abusive towards others just as they have been to you. It's not to mistreat others. It's not to expose in a negative sense. It's more so you just operating in your ability to express yourself. They're also speaking of the freedom that comes when you're able to live in your authenticity without worry or fear of other people's opinions. I keep seeing these 2 bubbles too, guys. They're like, bubbles that you blow, but there's 2 bubbles, and it's almost like spirit wants you to poke those bubbles, to pop those bubbles. So there may be 2 specific events that happened in your ancestral karma that are affecting you today, and those bubbles kind of need to be burst. That's how they're giving it. It's like burst their bubble, whatever that means for you, pile number 3. Burst someone's bubble. They are emphasizing to do this through the lens of love, to not be malicious, vindictive, or irrational in the way that you do it. They're showing me the Queen of Swords, to think very clearly and from a higher perspective rather than operating from a lower shadow self that does that out of the space of fear. It's like you're not going to express yourself in a sense that is coming from the shadow aspect of fear. Instead, spirit and your ancestors are asking you to express yourself from a place of freedom, from renewal, from strength. Okay, it's like do it afraid is what they're saying to you, pile number 3. It's I'm hearing for you to stand up for righteousness. I'm gonna just burn some sage here, guys. If I can remember, I'll do this at the end too, but I like to just clear and cleanse the energy. The intention is that when this is over, you'll have exactly what you need to clear this karma, and that you will be free to carry on with the rest of your life. My prayer is always that I can assist and support with people becoming free to not only be their authentic selves, but to live the life that they dream of. Okay, so let's see your cards here. Wow, look at this divine guidance. Wow. See, this has to do with your gifts, guys. I'm telling you, you have spiritual gifts. I'm seeing a lot of Cancer, Pisces energy here. The High Priestess is showing up. For some of you, there's a fear that it's like it's been resting on you, or you've been resting on it, sitting on it. A fear that you'll never actually reach your potential. You could be picking up on a lot of messages, a lot of intuitive downloads, a lot of intuitive hits, and just kind of ignoring them. Let's read the card. Whispers from the beings who shine. Let their message be clear and kind. Wow. So this is also spirit and your ancestors saying that whatever it is that you need to speak up about, the divine guidance is going to be given to you. They're telling me the scripture in the Bible where it says, do not worry about what you will say when you come before, the courts or the high priestess or whoever, right? The judicial system, whatever it is, right? They're saying, don't worry, because the Holy Spirit will give you exactly what you need to say. And that's the message for you, pile number 3, is that your words will come out effectively. For some of you, you could be a public speaker in some sense. That could be a teacher, professional, a professor, something like that is coming through where you need to express yourself, or that may be a desire of yours, but there's fear in doing that because there's a fear of being, again, rejected, not accepted, of being intolerable is what I'm hearing. Wow, guys. There's nothing about you that's intolerable. There's I'm picking up on what feels like someone is insecure about the way that they speak. This is ancestral karma. For some of you, you may question, like, where is this even coming from? Like, I don't even have a reason to feel this way. Okay? If you feel that way, this is what ancestral karma is, that bag of potatoes that gets thrown at you and you're like, I don't even know why I feel this way. I'm not insecure, or I'm not, worried about other people's opinions like that, but it just hits you out of nowhere when it's time for you to take a risk or do something out of your comfort zone. And this is connected to your ancestral karma. Oh, pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Guys, this has to do with forgiveness. This has to do with forgiving whoever caused this to your family, whatever has stricken your bloodline. This is your ancestors asking you to forgive those individuals or that individual. Even if it's you that someone specifically did something to, your ancestors are asking you to allow the fire to burn on the situation. And they're saying, don't forget, but to forgive. Now, interesting thing is what they're showing is the forgiveness is not necessarily being pointed and directed at that person. They're showing me a hand, and the hand is like going like this, right? It's almost like a wheel that you would spin on, like Wheel of Fortune or whatever, but they're doing this and then it's pointing at you. So it's almost like your ancestors are saying to forgive yourself, to not allow your pride to interfere with your ability to see yourself with clarity. They're saying that this fear has been deeply rooted and embedded in your ego. They're asking me to explain to you what the ego represents. So the ego, we all have an ego, we all have pride, we all struggle with these things, but the ego is oftentimes condemned, and this personally drives me nuts, because if you don't have an ego, you're not going to be convinced that you can chase your dreams. Okay, so you need that ego. You need that ego to get you up in the morning and say, get up, because you got something to do, brother or sister, right? Like, you need that ego. But the ego, when it is unhealed, the ego shows up as fear, because the ego is that inner child who was rejected, who was abandoned, who was mistreated, who was taken advantage of, screaming and saying, I'm not going to allow that to happen to me again. So when the ego shows up, it's just a matter of reparenting and convincing that inner child that this is not one of those situations where you're being taken advantage of. And not because other people aren't going to try to take advantage of you. It's more so because I, as an adult version of myself, am not going to allow my inner child to be taken advantage of. I understand what happened in the past. I have forgiven the past, and moving forward, I will not allow those same mistakes or errors to take place. Because I'm not a child anymore, I am able to defend, protect, and stand up for myself. And that's what your ancestors are asking you to do, is to see yourself in everyone, okay? And in that, you're going to love yourself enough to not allow your ego to be the head or the lead in your life, but rather allowing yourself to be the head and the lead in your life. There's also something coming through in regards to self-care. There's something about fears basically taking over your existence is what I'm hearing. Okay, pile number 3, your fears have almost taken over your existence, and what they do is they overshadow or kind of cover up and cloud your ability to see things through a lens of clarity. And this is absolutely due to some type of situation that occurred in your lineage that has made you feel inadequate. It has stricken you with fear, which kind of halts you or restricts you from being able to move out of it. Okay, so your ancestors are asking you to pour into yourself, but also to allow yourself to be made the center of your life. in my bathroom, I have a sticky right at the center of my mirror, and it says, who's at the center of your focus? And so something like that may be of assistance to you, to where you're actually able to remind yourself throughout the day of the importance of putting you first and not allowing the fears to override everything else that's occurring in your life. It's almost like the glasses that you've been seeing life through have been like colored in by fear. And again, that fear is showing up in more areas in your life than I think you've been privy to until now. All right, pile number 3, let's keep going. Oh, desire. Ngame. Okay. Wow, desire. Okay, immediately they're showing me in this card the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is an energy that is able to receive, but there's a very interesting thing being shown here. I'm seeing, you see these multiple arms that she has? These are fears that are preventing you from actually touching your desires. And this is all due to an imbalance. The imbalance is directly connected to, I'm hearing lessons of Saturn. That's very interesting, but I'm hearing that very clearly. And it's almost as if Jupiter, Saturn is the planet of discipline, structure, organization, rule, right? So Saturn is trying to teach you lessons in this moment in regards to putting yourself first and re-centering your life around you. It's like dismantling everything else, dismantling the fears, dismantling the events of the past that have taken precedence in your view, in your perspective. The way that you see the world is through the lens of fear, and that is deeply rooted in some type of pain. And so your ancestors are saying to, let's get rid of these extra hands. It's almost like there's too many hands in the pot is how they're showing it to me. And it's like every time you try to go after something that you desire, you may even hear these whispers from your ancestors, from your guides, from God. You're hearing these whispers every time you try to go after it. Your ego says, no, that's not safe. That's not safe. Back up. And those are those hands that are kind of coming in. It's almost like you're trying to use your hands like this to go forward, and then you have these hands from the external things, right? The fears, the ego, all of that is coming in and combating. It's overshadowing your true desires and preventing you from getting there. So in order to create balance, to reestablish yourself, you're going to have to start pouring into you and shrinking those other entities. I'm going to call them entities. The fear is an entity. The ego is an entity. So if you look at them, those are the two bubbles they're saying. Fear and ego. Those are the two bubbles, pile number 3. Wow, thank you guys. That's very clear. So it's almost like you're going to have to, and wow, look at, she has this arrow that she has. And this is a moon energy, right? So it's her emotions. And it's almost like she's so intentional. So you're going to have to be so intentional about getting to the desires of your heart that you're willing to pop any bubbles that get in the way. Okay, think about a bubble. If someone blows a bubble, they have those big bubble machines. Someone could blow a bubble that's bigger than you that could get in the way of you actually walking. You would have to walk through that bubble to be able to get to wherever you're trying to go. Right? That's how you pop the bubble. That's why they told you the only way out is through. I freaking love it. Makes perfect sense, guys. So you're going to have to find within you some type of balance. Even if you're a masculine energy, it doesn't matter. There has to be change in the way that you open yourself up to allow yourself to receive. The divine feminine energy, which we all have feminine and masculine energy in our charts, is all about receptivity. So they're saying starting with opening yourself up to be receptive to the messages that they're giving you here. Wow. Your ancestors are like straight to the point. They're like, this is what it is, right? They're not rude. They're not abrasive. They're not aggressive. They're just very straightforward. I love it. So it's an energy of what, like them saying, like, just go through it. You're going to have to just push through in order to get to the other side. And they're showing the hands, the fear and the ego as meddlers. Okay, so imagine like a nagging fly that just doesn't leave. Essentially, that's the fear and the ego. But those things can be diminished or rid of, you know. I'm trying to think of the word that they're telling me or trying to hear. They can be done away, dissolved. Oh, dissolved. If you dissolve a bubble, yeah, when you pop a bubble, you're dissolving it. That's what they're saying. They're saying we said dissolved. So if you dissolve the bubbles by focusing more on your desires than you do on listening or allowing those hands to keep overshadowing yours, because it's almost like this, like Five of Wands energy, where you're trying to go this way and you have these hands constantly meddling in. If you would pop the meddlers by not allowing them to take precedence in your space, that's how you can resolve this karma and clear it out once and for all. Wow. Then you have the Ayizan with miracles. Guys, I'm always mispronouncing these. This is a purity. Wow. Notice in the background here you have the water that's overflowing, okay? There's a purity and miracles that your ancestors are desiring to bring in for you. This is going to come by way of you resolving the ego and the fears that you have. Miracles are going to start just unfolding in your life, okay? They're showing roots to Jamaica, so some of you may have some Jamaican or Caribbean roots of some sort. They're also showing me this pomegranate being busted open. So it's like your ancestors are saying, once you're able to resolve or dissolve these two things, these two bubbles, right? Fear and ego, you're going to notice that your miracles just start to flow in. That's very interesting. There's also progressively forward movement for you as you begin to listen to the divine guidance that's being offered to you. Your ancestors are saying, we're very straightforward, we're whispering constantly, but you may not hear it. And oftentimes when we have ego and fears, we will question whether or not we're hearing anything, but also we don't make space for our ancestors and guides to speak to us. So for some of you, that's another message that's coming through, is your team is asking you to create space for them, to make space for them to be able to step into your world and assist you with the desires of your heart and to move you towards miracles. They're also saying that this desire card with the divine feminine energy of receptivity also has a lot to do with allowance and how they can't push through the barrier if you won't allow them in, okay? That also is something that's connected to your ancestral lineage too, is that miracles were wanting to come in. However, it's like foliage was in the way. So there was like a constant blockage of these miracles because of a lack of purity and receptivity from some of your ancestors. So you may notice your bloodline may consist of a lot of very strong, independent women who kind of refuse to allow change into their lives. That's coming through very strongly, and they're specifically speaking of feminine energies, guys. Okay, you could have had a grandmother, great grandmother, auntie, mom, etc. that may have been very resistant to change, and this is absolutely going to require change in order for you to be able to clear this karma. Pile number 3. Look, yep, naked, mami wata. Okay, this naked energy is all about transparency, and it is about opening yourself up. Essentially, this would be like a moon energy in the tarot deck, okay? This naked card is about you not only allowing, but it's also about being open to being vulnerable. That also goes back to you using your throat, right? Expressing yourself, being your authentic self, being willing and able to open and speak your truth without holding back. There's something magical about you being able to express yourself, about they're saying there's something magical about you being able to tap into your true identity, pile number 3. Definitely super spiritual here, okay? This is also the 3 cards, so this is about collaborating with your team, allowing them to support and to assist you. It's interesting too because I'm seeing Saturn in this card. I never even noticed these planets in these cards, but I'm seeing Saturn again. You could have some Piscean energy in your chart. Maybe Saturn's been in your sign the last few years teaching you these lessons. But it's almost like you have to have the strength to be able to tame the crocodiles, right? To tame the energies that want to snap and shut you down, shut you up, shut you out. You're going to have to rise above them without feeling like you have the necessary tools, okay? There's something about your desire for better, your desire for greater has to be bigger and more significant and important than the fears and the ego. Wow. They're also showing the snake here. You see this snake that's wrapped around her? They're telling me that that snake is representative of the ego and the fears, that they can wrap themselves around you, kind of entangling themselves in you and on you without you even realizing. And that's what's happened, is that this has been something that has been like being comfortable with something that you know is uncomfortable or not supposed to be present. And I think it's because sometimes what happens is we just don't realize that these things are attached to us. We don't realize that we're being strangulated by these things, right? You're not recognizing that fear and that ego has been strangulating you, which is they were saying earlier about restricting, right? Preventing you from actually being free. They're telling me to go back to this divine guidance because they're showing that the messages have been presented to you, right? This is interesting too. Look at these bubbles. Like they've been the bubbles are a big part of your reading. I don't know, maybe you want to go find bubbles, play with bubbles, take a bubble bath, something like that, guys. But there's information that's been trying to get through to you, but it's almost like you're covered and blocked by ego and fears. So the messages haven't been able to connect with you in the way that your ancestors desire that they do. Wow. Ocean desires, guys. Passion, longing, and drive. You got desires twice here. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. This is because you have desires to do something different. It's just that, oh, they're saying that the longing hasn't been enough to push you to change. The longing hasn't been enough to allow you to bare yourself and to be completely naked, which is vulnerability, in order to be able to push through to your desires. There is a longing within you. There's something within you that is desperate to accomplish and receive the things that you really, really, really want in life. But the bee is showing up very strongly here, and it's almost like that bee is directly connected to your solar plexus chakra, which is your willpower. Okay, it's your ability to actually make something happen, your powerhouse. So you may want to do some type of energy work. You can even exercise, guys. Exercising is energy work without people realizing it. Movement to allow your body to feel supported by you. So the first thing to do in order to release fears is to start to support yourself. This is why this goes back to you, loving on yourself, self-care. Start there with the basics of that, just allowing yourself to be loved by you. Doesn't have to come from anyone else, but the love that you have for yourself will fill you. And as you continue to pour more into you, bubble baths, being able to listen to your ancestors, your guides, opening yourself up to believe in miracles again, to believe that the desires of your heart are what you are destined to have, right? To start to believe and to see these things with clarity. There's something about the hair here where it's like there has to be clarity in your mind. Okay, so maybe washing your hair, cleansing your hair, and as you wash and clean your hair, allow yourself to be nurtured in those moments. Take advantage of those moments as self-care opportunities to purify and to cleanse yourself. And in the process, what you're going to do is put in the work, because they're showing that be there as like your work that needs to be done is going to start with the self, the solar plexus chakra, starting with yourself. Regenerating is what I'm hearing. The power, the will, the strength to go after your desires, to shift from feeling like they're unattainable into I'm going to accomplish and get this come hell or high water. All right, guys. So let's see what's next. Wisdom. Wow. Okay, I don't read the bottom card here. You can if you want to, but I like to intuitively just get the messages here. So for some of you, I absolutely believe that this is connected to this divine guidance where you are receiving, no, your ancestors are like, you're not even receiving this. They're saying the information is already present within you. A part of your ancestral dharma, which karma is the stuff that you clear out. Dharma is the good stuff, the miracles that you receive. A part of your ancestral dharma, good, is that you have some type of wisdom. Okay, they keep telling me Akashic records. There's some type of wisdom that is embedded within you. It's stored in your body that naturally has already told you what these things are. All I'm doing is confirming. It's just the work, guys. That's what they keep showing me, is the work for you. For you, it's the lack of action that your ancestors are kind of calling you out on. They're saying the only way to get to this is if you actually take action. There's movement that's needed, and this may even start with moving your body, getting your body moving. There's a ton of movement in your cards, in your energy. While you're reaching for things, you have to move. So maybe physically moving is another part of clearing out this ancestral karma for you, just getting your body going. I also think water is a major key tool for you to utilize in the process of cleansing and purifying this energy. You may want to take showers and just allow the water to run on you. Allow yourself to just sit with and feel the water running on you. Again, washing your hair, protecting yourself from those energies that we were seeing earlier that may want to leech or attach onto you that are not beneficial. There's also something coming through in regards to lessons. When you see the lessons, receive the lessons as gifts rather than receiving the lessons as something negative they're showing. Okay, so oftentimes when things happen to us in life, we can question like, well, why did that happen? And we can get stuck in that. But all that is your ego talking from a place of fear. Okay, they're saying to learn the lessons, gain the lessons, but don't get stuck in the lessons, because the lessons are not the final destination. Your desires and miracles occurring in your life, the purity of you is the destination. And they keep bringing me back to purity. There's something that they're trying to purify you from, which is this ego and these fears. They're also showing Saturn again, and they're saying that Saturn is present to discipline you into finding yourself. That's the lesson of Saturn, is to purify you, to cleanse you, and to connect you to your divinity is what I'm hearing. Wow. So you may want to look and see where Saturn is in your charts, okay, guys? Shame. Look at this. Oh my gosh, guys. Whatever happened to you or to your ancestors, this is not yours to carry. The shame is not for you. there's nothing that you could have done that, your ancestors want to keep you in this energy. You also notice here that this throat chakra is coming through. They're bringing me back to schmexual stuff too. So someone could have been very promiscuous, felt like you had a lot of partners in life. That is, who cares? Throw it out the window. Your ancestors are like, who cares? Okay, who cares? Throw that out the window. This is why they keep bringing me to purity. They keep bringing me to purity because these events, whether you or an ancestor, have kept you from feeling pure. You feel dirty. There's some sort of shame that you're carrying that's made you feel dirty, and that's not who you are. The message is very clear. That is not who you are. They're also showing a covering. You see this covering over her? You see how she's completely covered? They're showing that you have been divinely covered and protected through all of the things that have happened in your life. And this is because you are a miracle. The fact that you're here is a miracle. The fact that you're able to come out of those things that you endured is a miracle. Same thing with your ancestors. But this is going to be even more miraculous when you flip this on its head and tell that shame that you'll not sit in that anymore. There's no reason for you to stay stuck in that shame. Spirit is saying it's time for you to use the wisdom and divine guidance that has been offered to you to come out of this, because it's not who you are. You may have made some mistakes, but so has everyone else. There's no perfect humans. They're very clear on this. There's no perfect humans. The nakedness of you is the divinity of you, the ability to sit with the errors that maybe you made or someone else made against you, and allow yourself to be free of those things that keep you small, that keep you in the energy of shame, and instead flip them on their heads and allow them to get you to your desires. Use it as fuel to push you into this beautiful miracle that you are, that is covered and protected and overflowing in abundance, in love, in prosperity, and in peace. More importantly than anything else, guys, is peace. I think that's what you're longing for more than anything else, is peace. Okay. Wild animal here. Yeah, this wild animal is going back to what Spirit was showing earlier. A couple of things. It's almost like you could have felt like you were constantly being hunted. It's 1:11 on the clock right now, guys, but you could have felt like you were being hunted by something bigger than you. You could have felt like your whole life constantly you had to deal with people coming after you. Again, they're showing me like the beauty of someone. So maybe, if you were younger and you carried this shame, this fear, this ego into your adulthood, you could have carried this shame due to events that happened prior to and felt like you were constantly being chased, like you were hunted down. And this is dissolving for you. I'm hearing that the individuals that hunt you now will hunt you as this new version of you, as the awakened, enlightened miracle that you are. Okay. And then we have a wizard here. Wow. Okay, so for some of you, this could have had to do with some darker energies. This could have had to do with darker energies trying to take action against you to prevent you from being your authentic self. I am picking up on the fact that some of you could have felt cursed. I think you could have felt like you've been carrying a curse. Did I say New Orleans earlier somewhere? Because I was picking up on that. Maybe it was this reading. But some of you could have felt cursed, or like you were, with that rejection, chased after for negativity. Like you, again, going back to that being hunted, like someone had cursed you, by allowing these things to happen or by doing these things to you. And it's almost like you just felt like you could not reach vindication, but your ancestors are saying vindication is here, and I keep hearing that word vindication. So you're being vindicated from this, pile number 3. This is the ending of this, okay? No more. Oh my gosh, look at this. Heavy matters, earth of shadow. Wow, guys, this is so heavy, this energy here. I'm going to read this card at the end of the reading. I'm going to read the guidebook, but intuitively what I'm picking up on is that absolutely the fears and the ego have continued to stack up against you, building upon constant shame, grief, anguish. Okay, this feels like absolutely you could feel like you were cursed, right? Like the world is against you because the burdens that you've had to carry have been way too heavy. And earlier I think you said unwarranted, and it's coming back to that as well, where this affliction that has been gifted to you, you're like, I didn't want those potatoes, but those potatoes that have been gifted to you have felt like it's more than you could actually bear. And I think at times it's taken you into a very deep, dark place. And I'm just thankful that you're here. Let me say that to you. Okay, looking at this card and feeling the energy, I'm thankful that you're here, and I am beyond grateful that you're allowing your ancestors and guides to bring you into this next stage in life, because let me tell you, it's going to be beautiful, pile number 3. It's going to be beautiful. I can feel the energy shifting even right now, and it feels light. I have spirit chills everywhere. It feels very, very, very protected, peaceful, and you're not realizing this, or you may not have realized this until maybe now or later you will, but your events, the series of events that you've experienced in life, were all to be used as your spiritual gifts. They were tools to assist you, because you're going to shift from feeling cursed to feeling like you're the magician. You're going to shift from feeling like you have to constantly fight into feeling like, you know what, life is just so easy for me. How the heck did I get here? I'm seeing like a night and day shift that is occurring in your energy right now. Like the heaviness is lifting. You may have experienced a lot of pain in your physical body, your shoulders, your back, your hips, your lower back specifically. You could have experienced a lot of pain in your head, your third eye, just feeling like you constantly are being nagged and irritated by situations and things. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's shifting for you guys, okay? It's shifting. You're shifting out of this energy and into peace. And I'm being told to take 3 cards for you, pile number 3. So let's see. 3 is a very significant number for you. We saw that there with the Naked card. And there's a 3 there, obviously, but there's something about you co-creating. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't make this up. Is this 3 cards? You guys, this is beyond me. Look at the 3 of Pentacles here. This is exactly what Spirit and your ancestors are speaking of. You collaborating with them in order to get yourself released from this. Now, this is something that they, I think, had me mention early on, but I don't know. I'm going to say it, though. I'm sure that I heard it at least at some point during this reading, is that you're not alone. You're not doing this alone. You are heavily protected. You have extreme divine guidance here. We see that in several cards, right? And you are a walking miracle, pile number 3. I don't think that you have been able to give yourself enough credit for your tenacity, your ability to rise above, your ability to endure this, or your ability to be able to push through. I don't think that you see yourself in light of who you truly are. Like I said earlier, a walking miracle, okay? It is only by the grace of God that you're here today. And I'm just thankful to be a part of this reading and experience such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. Now, this is amazing, guys. The cards that you have are the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, and Justice. Guys, this is literally the definition of clearing out ancestral karma. Let me tell you, okay, this owl is representative of the wisdom that you naturally have. Remember, your ancestors were saying earlier that you have some type of ancestral wisdom. It's like knowledge that's just embedded in your physical body. It's been suppressed because of this energy here of, ego, fear, and shame. These energies have been suppressing it, strangulating it, preventing it from being able to be shown. And then you have the Hierophant here. That's that Taurian energy that I was picking up on earlier with the stubbornness, the bullheadedness. Okay, you could even be a Taurus. I think I said that earlier. And then you have the freaking Wheel of Fortune. Okay, go and look up the scarab beetle. I think it's SCARAB beetle, because that has some significance here for you. Okay, type in scarab beetle spiritual meaning. There is a complete transition and shift that is occurring in your life right now. And it is happening very, very, very quickly. It's also happening unexpectedly. Your team is saying that you're not going to be able to anticipate the changes that are going to take place as you allow the discipline of Saturn to reconstruct your life. Wow. You are moving towards destined places. I'm hearing facilities. For some of you, you may want to own some type of facility. I don't know. I'm seeing a beauty salon for some reason. But if so, that's coming your way as you pop these bubbles and allow yourself to be seen, to take up space, allowing yourself to walk in wisdom rather than in shame, to allow yourself to be seen as this is just by seeing yourself as the miracle that you are with no external validation. No one else is going to need to come in and say these things to you. You're going to begin to see yourself in the light that spirit and your ancestors see you in. For a lot of you, what I'm hearing too is that you're actually going to be able to shift this energy and transition it, alchemizing it, because now you've become the magician. And that's because as your ancestors are speaking to you in this reading, they're confirming, they're validating who you are. You're like, oh my God, I'm a gangster. Forgive me, but that's just the energy that I'm picking up on. Okay, you have no idea who you are. This is fantastic. I'm blown away by your reading. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is about destiny. This moment for you is fated. This is the moment that everything in your life shifts for you. And it's because the ego within, the fears, the shame, those things that have been strangulated by sitting in the darkness are now being exposed. You're ready to expose them. And with this, there's a freedom of expression. Okay, I'm seeing you like take your power back, step into your authenticity, and allow yourself to rise into this spiritual leader, spiritual gangsta that you are. Pile number 3. Look at this, the freaking Hierophant. Okay, he is stern, sturdy, firm. He knows exactly who he is. He knows what he's built on, because this is what you're learning today, and it's confirmation for you. It's not like I'm telling you something you already know. You're realizing and reestablishing yourself in the foundation of your ancestors who were miracles. You're seeing and recognizing the strength and the agility that you guys have. That was something that you didn't even recognize. You're like, oh, I didn't even know that we were like that gangsta. I keep saying that word because that's just how it feels to me. It feels very powerful. It feels very much like I can do anything. I don't have to sit under a rug because I deserve to take up space, be seen, stand out. I deserve this. And it's not because I'm so fantastic. It's because my ancestors died so that I could move and be and act in this way. So now I'm about to bust out. It's like you're about to come out. You're going to have like a coming out party, pile number 3. Like, this is crazy energy. There's so much stability in you in this Hierophant energy. I cannot stress it enough. And this Wheel of Fortune energy is showing you as like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Although you were burnt, although life had burnt you, although life had weighed you down, you chose not to sit in that anymore. And now is the time for divine justice to come into play. Your ancestors have some type of a connection connection with Ma'at energy. You can look up what Ma'at energy is, but Ma'at energy weighs the heart against the feather. And although all these things have been done to you, you never turned your turned a blind eye in a sense that you wanted to operate in maliciousness. Okay, that's the beauty of you. There's a purity that's already there, and that's because you have this hidden wisdom within you. Even though you'd been hunted down, chased down, felt like you were constantly being attacked, you didn't allow that to rob you of seeing yourself as someone who is deserving. If you did, then you wouldn't have these desires. There's no way you could desire something if you see yourself as completely being unworthy. Although I do sense some of that at times you have had moments where you're like, I don't really, but you have not completely cut yourself out and turned a blind eye on yourself. You haven't given up hope. You've allowed the desires and the longings to stay present, even though you feel like you weren't able to actually get those things. You were just like, I'm not going to stop thinking that, This is divine justice. Your heart has been weighed against a feather, and it has been deemed, what's the word? What are you telling me? It's been deemed good enough. It's been deemed reliable. Sensible is the words that they're giving me. Reliable, sensible. It's been deemed good is what they're saying. That you are now stepping into your power, your authenticity. These cards here, guys, are powerful. You'll notice these are all major arcanas too. Let me just bring that to your attention if you haven't. Do you see the drive in this owl's eyes? This is what's being gifted to you by your ancestors, to where you will see with wisdom, you will hear the divine guidance, and you will allow yourself to receive. There's no longer resistance. There's clarity, there's communication, there's purity, and there's intention behind this pile number 3. Oh my God. You guys, I need to read 2 cards to you, and then we're going to close your reading out. Let's read this miracle card, okay? My God. I'm sorry, I start yelling because I just get so excited. I'm blown away by the fact that the ancestors and spirit shows up in the ways that they do. This is phenomenal. Look at this, guys. Okay, Ayazan. I'm probably mispronouncing the names. It's all right. Let's just keep it pushing. Goddess of miracles, Haiti. Some of you could have some type of a connection to Haiti as well, if you know where your ancestors are from. And then this is the high priestess. Weren't we talking about that earlier? About you having spiritual gifts, maybe even being a Pisces. Okay, anyways, Mambo, priestess Ayazan, is the wise Haitian Iwa deity, queen of the market, riches, and sacred initiations. Respect her as the highly venerated spirit of the first priestess. Her guidance is, you are a magnet for miracles. You are a miracle. What? What if you truly allowed yourself to believe all things are possible? Dare to dream bigger. Guys, I cannot make this up, okay? They are coming through for you. The embodiment is, you claim you want miracles, but you take an I'll believe it when I see it approach. What if you will see it after you believe it? Oh my gosh. Believe that you deserve to be, do, and have the world you want for yourself. You can be your true self, do what awakens your soul, and have your desires. This is life's miracle. If you haven't witnessed your miracle yet today, ask for it and allow it in. The declaration is, my life is full of miracles, guys. Oh my God. I'm going to try to hold this here so you can take a picture if you want. Wow, wow, and wow. I don't even need to say anything because they just came and showed out on your behalf. Let me read the Earth of Shadow card, okay? I have to find it in this book. This book is super deep. It's super intense. Pile number 3. Oh my God, this reading is phenomenal. Whatever happened to you, I'm telling you, it happened to you to get you to this place where miracles are occurring consistently in your life, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's almost like at some point you'll be like, I don't even care that that happened. That gave me this life that I have. Psh, okay, you know, this is phenomenal. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let me see if I can find this card. 142. I always have a hard time finding these cards in this book. Again, the messages are deep, so you may want to take a picture and go back and read it again later. Okay, guys. Heavy matters. Earth of shadow. As the earth energies fall into denial, the burden of being becomes an obsession. Burdens, struggles, and being weighed down by the minds take on things. Okay, burdens, struggle, and being weighed down by the mind's take on things. This card indicates a pattern of perspectives that compound the natural efforts of living until they become an ongoing inner crisis of self-abuse. With such inner talk, each step gets heavier, which then justifies the compounding perspectives that caused it. When I habitually bemoan my struggles, there is a feeling of being real that these burdens bring to me, a tragic specialness that I am proclaiming myself to have. Of course, my life would be far better if I would just put the inner burden down, but then who would I be and how would I feel special? The inquiry is, what burdens have I taken on that are not mine? Wow. Wow and wow. What a reading. What a way to finish off how your ancestral karma is affecting you right now. Powerful, powerful, powerful energy. Let's burn some sage. I thank you so much for being here. We're trusting that this energy is dissipating as we speak, or as we have spoken, because I'm believing that it's already going away, that your life is shifting in your favor, and that miracles will begin to show themselves to you right now, even as I speak. If you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, letting me know if this resonated with you, or telling me whatever you want. I just like to hear from you guys. I'm so thankful for being here. Subscribing and liking this video, that would be fantastic. Thank you for your time. I know this was a long reading, but it was phenomenal, and I'm just so excited to put this out, guys. I hope you have the most amazing year, week, day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks so much, Pile 3. Bye.